Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream to cover Cinemacon 2025, the Sony Pictures panel. The panel starts in about an hour. There's a timer at the at the top of the screen to count down to when the panel starts. So feel free to go somewhere else, do something else, and come back when the panel starts. We go live about an hour early, just so people have enough time to get here, so they don't miss anything, and so we can just chill and chat. It's also been a hot minute since I posted on this channel, done anything on this channel, so I also figured go live a little earlier just to catch up with you guys. Talk about, if you guys want to talk about the Doomsday reveals, your thoughts on that and everything. But yeah, panel starts in about an hour, and we'll just be here. I'm gonna apologize in advance for any possible technical issues. This morning when I was loading up the software and setting everything up, my streaming software kept crashing. Seems to be good now, but if at any point the stream lags or goes offline, just stay in the stream unless, and I'll type in the chat as well, like to stay or whatever, unless I say otherwise in the chat to leave, because technical difficulties couldn't be made. But just wanted to put that out there at the start, that we could have some technical difficulties in the stream. Hopefully not, but just wanted to make you guys aware of the fact. And the final little housekeeping thing is, if you guys haven't been to one of these streams before about covering any kind of panel, same thing as with D23 or San Diego Comic-Con, I have Twitter profiles pulled up on TweetDeck of Twitter users that are going to be there tweeting the panel live. When the panel starts, we'll switch over to that screen, and we'll just sit and wait for it to automatically refresh. I'm not going to switch to it yet. I'm not going to open it yet, just because we all know that Twitter, or might not all know, but Twitter has a limit now to how many tweets you can see in one day, and I already opened it once this morning to make sure it worked. So I'm going to wait to open it until it's time for the panel to actually start. That way, we hopefully won't get maxed out on tweets. It is a 2-hour panel, so we'll see. I think I have a backup account. I think I made a backup account for San Diego Comic-Con last year. I think I remember it. So if that does happen, I can turn on the backup account. But yeah, that's just how it's gonna be. Anyway, let's turn our attention to the live chat here while we wait, while we chat. And also let me know, guys, in the chat how the audio is, how my audio is, how the music audio is, how Joe's audio is once he starts talking, gets his input on stuff. Yeah, let's go to the live chat here. I don't take showers. Yeah, I think you probably should. Says chat, guesses on the name for Spider-Man 4. Yeah, let me know your guesses in the chat for Spider-Man 4. The title, that's kind of all I'm expecting from Spider-Man 4 this panel. I don't know if I have a title. Guess. I hope there's no home in the title. I hope they ditch that. I don't think you need it. I think it was fine for the previous trilogy. I didn't think the previous trilogy needed that homeness with each title. It's hard to guess on a title before we know what the story is going to be about in any way. Spider-Man Far From Home. When we heard the rumor, the more recent rumor about Spider Island and stuff, that was my first thought too. But I'm like, oh, that's already a title. Do you have any guesses on the title, or any hopes, wants, wishes, stuff you don't want to see for the title?
Honestly, what would make me the most optimistic is Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I think that's a great title.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a mouthful now that I say it out loud.
Yeah. I hope that's what it is. It's probably not, but I mean, there's a new rumor every day, although there wasn't a rumor today, but it's a new rumor every day for what this movie's about. So it's it's almost impossible to guess. John Stutzman, what's going on? It's Abby. Thanks for tuning in. Rumor has it Spider-Man 4, Jumanji 3, Moana 3, and more in 2026. This is a big surprise. It may be a big surprise till late Super Bowl 2027. Maybe. Prism's Collection Corner, welcome, says, Beyond should be touched. That film has been in development, heck, for 3+ years. I want a release date. Any chance Sony announces new Spider-Man spinoff, Spider-Gwen movie? Well, didn't they announce, like, a Spider-Gwen and Friends movie back when Into the Spider-Verse did really well? I swear they announced that. And then there's been just nothing about it for, what would that be, 7 years now? Honestly, at this point, I don't think they announced any spin-offs or any other Spider-Verse movies until Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, because at this point, it's like, will it come out? And if so, when? I think that's kind of where all their marbles are right now. I hope it gets touched on. My only thing is that I'm not, like, as... I haven't followed an Cinemacon like I do Comic-Con or D23, so I'm not as knowledgeable about what gets talked about here, what goes on at Cinemacons. It seems like, though, Cinemacons really focus on movies, and purely just movies, and movies releasing within the next year. I think with some exceptions, like Spider-Man 4 being the next Spider project for Sony, I'm guessing they're going to touch upon that. It'd be wild to me if they didn't even touch upon it slightly. But I think that's really it. I would love something. I would love a release date. I would love some sort of update from Beyond the Spider-Verse. But I'm not holding my breath for it. Do you think we're going to get a Beyond the Spider-Verse update?
I don't, but that did make me think. Do you think that it's possible we could get a Noir update, the show?
I don't think so, because that's a show. I think this is just for movies. I would love it. Okay. I'm really excited for Noir. But no, I think this is just going to be for movies.
And yeah, I don't think that we'll really get anything for Beyond. They could surprise us, but I'm catering my expectations.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I mean, if you guys have been to any of my streams before with panels, you've heard me say it, and I'll continue to say it. But make sure to keep your expectations low, especially for this one. Just like Casey Max says here, this isn't a Comic-Con. This isn't a D23. So there's not going to be a Spider-Man trailer. I'll tell you that much, because it's not even filming yet. I doubt there'll be a Beyond the Spider-Verse trailer. I highly, highly doubt it. And also, this is more than just Spider-Man. This is all of Sony. We'll get into exactly what movies I think are going to be touched upon, but in a second. But this is all Sony Pictures, not just Spider-Man. So really keep your expectations low. I'm really only doing this live stream because I haven't done a live stream and anything on the channel in a while. So I just wanted to say, hey, I'm still around. I haven't forgotten about this channel. And because with Spider-Man 4, we literally know nothing. So anything is news. So that's really why I'm only doing this live stream. Really do not expect anything big from this panel. Please. Because it's not a Comic-Con, it's not a D23, so just keep your expectations very in check. To be fair, I'm curious what Sony actually has to present. All their upcoming films are just to you, fair enough, apart from Karate Kid and Spider-Man 4. So there are some Sony movie posters up at Cinemacon. I'll read them off. The Until Dawn movie, the new Karate Kid movie, Karate Kid Legends, 28 years later, I don't know if it's a remake or a reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer, and an animated movie called Goat, about a basketball playing goat. And then I think there was a picture with like not like a fan made, but like a poster that said Spider-Man 4 and Jumanji 3. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did hear something about Spider-Man 4 and Jumanji 3. I'm thinking just titles for both of them. I think their main focus are going to be the ones that have actual posters up and that are coming out within the year. So, yeah, like Karate Kid Legends, Until Dawn, Go, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and 28 Years Later. But, yeah, like I said, keep your expectations very, very much in check. What's up, Jazer and Gaming? How's it going, man? Long time no see. Have you been? It says, looking forward to this, hoping the title gets revealed. I hope so as well. I think that's really what we should expect. Maybe some cast announcements. I'm hoping for at least one or two. Maybe a villain cast. I would love to hear who the villain is, but just so we know who's playing the villain, so we can at least speculate and have something, you know? Because right now, all we have is Tom Holland, Zendaya, Destin Daniel Cretton is directing, and Sadie Sink is in it. That's all we got. So I'm hoping we get at least something concrete today. My guess is at most that'll be the title, but I'm hoping for more. More would be great, but I'm not expecting it. Also, confirmation on if it'll be Multiversal or Street. I bet Multiversal, knowing Sony, would also love to know if Sony's gonna do any more spin-offs. Morbius 2. I highly doubt we get Morbius 2. I don't even want to say anything about any more spin-offs, because I don't want to jinx it. I don't think they're gonna do more spin-offs, though. Like, I don't want there to be. I think almost all of us, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think almost all of us can agree that we don't want at least spin-offs in the way that they had been making them before. You know, if the movies are good, then, yeah, make them, but track record says otherwise. I don't think they're going to do any more spin-offs, so at least for the next few years. I think they're like, crap. These movies have been crap and have not been making us money. What do we do? I think the answer is just let Marvel Studios make them and just take some of the profit, but I'm not a business guy, so I could be dead wrong in that opinion. Unfortunately, I also think it's going to be not Street. I think it's also going to be Multiversal. I don't want it to be Multiversal at all. And that's coming from, like, the biggest multiverse defender you'll find. I will die in this hill that the multiverse is not a problem, and there is no such thing as multiverse fatigue, because, like, every multiverse project that has come out besides The Flash have been financial successes, regardless. I don't want it to be multiversal. I think Spider-Man No Way Home ended off in a perfect way to do street level, and, like, I don't want to spoil Daredevil, but, like, without spoiling Daredevil, like, it's such the perfect time to do Spider-Man and Daredevil against Kingpin. Like, they're literally setting it up. You cannot set it up better. There will never be a better time to do Devil's Reign and the Spider-Man Daredevil crossover than right now, than Spider-Man 4. But, of course, that's not going to be what it is, because it sounds like Sony won the battle and was like, no, make it multiversal because No Way Home made a lot of money, even though that's not the lesson to learn. Anyway, Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree that hopefully there won't be any more spinoffs, because I think they've at least seen how Madam Web was really a huge joke, not only to the audience, but also, I believe, I'm forgetting her name, Sydney Sweeney went on to SNL and joked about it, in fact. So I think it's telling how big of a joke that movie was, and I think they'll look at that and they'll put more of their focus into these spider-related projects with an actual Spider-Man or Spider character in it, like the Noir series. Other than that, I do think it will be a multiversal story, unfortunately, as well. Just because we really don't know what they're doing. But based on the rumors, it sounds more like it's been a struggle. And knowing Feige, he likes to play the long game. So I feel like it would be, give them this one movie, let it be multiversal, and then they'll let us do what we want. I'm just afraid that, like you said, you know, the perfect time to do that story would be now. I'm just afraid that by the time we get to Spider-Man 5 and we actually have the chance to have a really great story, it's going to be a little bit too late.
Right, and I brought this up to you in the past before, but, like, and I totally would understand Feige, like, quote-unquote giving them Spider-Man 4 and then being like, okay, but Spider-Man 5, we get to choose. But we only have 3 more, and I say only, I know that 6 solo movies is the most that any character has ever had. But we only have 3 more. Do you really want to waste one on a multiverse movie that'll probably not have any real impact in this trilogy's arc. You know, it seems like such a waste. It seems like such a waste for it to be a fine movie. I don't think it's going to be a bad movie, regardless of its multiversal street level. I'll make this clear. I don't think it's going to be bad at all. I think it's still going to be a good movie, but, like, just that. And there's nothing wrong with having just good movies. I'm also the biggest defender of some movies are allowed to just be good. They don't have to be anything special. But this is Spider-Man. Spider-Man's the exception. So that's another fear of mine. Also, just want to shout out some people who are in the chat. Slice Dude, Why So Mystic, Rasa, Looney Looty, Noel, Hasm, Billy, David, Cinda Absolute. What's going on, guys? I see you all are chatting. Continue to chat. Continue to give your thoughts. We're going to be going down the chat. I'm just not, we're not going to get to the bottom just yet. I want to make sure everyone gets their chats read. So I'm not ignoring you, not skipping over you. Just wanted to let you know that I see your chats, and we're working our way towards them to talk to them. Shawnee Matt, welcome. We're so back. Let's hope. We'll see. David Cargill, hey, use a Daredevil Born Again, especially episode 5 with the reveal that Daredevil might be introduced to the potential Young Avengers. I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think there's going to be a Daredevil Young Avengers crossover. I think it's just going to... I think all that was just, hey, Daredevil exists in the larger MCU. We're also in New York, which is, like, the perfect time to have, like, a Miss Marvel character crossover and, like, teasing Young Avengers, which it seems like they're going to be called Champions, not Young Avengers, which makes sense. I'm excited for Champions, though. I like most of the characters that are probably going to be on the team. Like, I love Kamala Khan. Ironheart was really great in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I'm looking forward to her show. I think her as a character is really great. I love Kate Bishop. I really like Cassie Lang. I'm a huge Catherine Newton fan. I don't love Wiccan, if I'm going to be honest. But, I know a lot of people are, so that's fine. And if they cast Kit Connor as Hulkling, then it makes it everything worthwhile. But yeah, I'm excited for Champions. Terrell Thaddeus, what's up, man? How's it going? Where you been? Just been, real life stuff. Real life priorities have taken over. Really want Famke Janssen to come back in Doomsday. We need a fully powered Phoenix scene. I know Marvel will do their own, but I don't want to wait 8-10 years. I get you. It sounds like the rumor is that they only announced the actors that have officially signed on. There are other actors that they're still working out the negotiations with. Like Halle Berry was one of the big ones. Tom Holland also was one of the ones. I think Famke Janssen's also one of those. I really think Famke Janssen, Halle Berry, Anna Paquin, maybe even Shawn Ashmore are all going to be in the movie. It might just be a thing of, let's figure out schedule, let's figure out budgeting, and let's get this deal done before announcing. I think it's more of that. Any confirmation of where we will get to know exactly who Sadie Sink will play in Spider-Man 4? Low-key, it might not be until, like, filming starts or the first trailer comes out. I don't know. It depends on who she's playing, too. Right? Like, if... Well, there's a bunch of different theories. Let's throw out some theories for who Sadie Sink's going to play. Obviously, the two big ones that were thrown out there right when it was announced, or reported that she was going to be in the movie, MJ and Jean Grey. I really don't think it's either one. I think introducing the MCU Jean Grey, really any of the MCU like main X-Men characters in a non-X-Men property project might be a hot take, but does the character and the fans a bit of a disservice because it's relegating those characters to secondary characters, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's Jean Grey. I also don't think it's MJ. I know she looks a lot like comic MJ, but I just think it would be a very bad look to recast. Not even recast, because it wouldn't be the same MJ, but like have a different MJ show up that isn't Zendaya. An out there theory that I thought of and threw out there when Joe and I were discussing when it got announced, I said, is she playing Tobey Maguire's daughter? Is she playing Mayday? I don't think that's impossible, especially if it is multiversal, and Sony being Sony probably wants both Tobey and Andrew back. That doesn't mean both Tobey and Andrew would say yes to coming back, but they probably want them back. And maybe the middle ground is like, all right, let's get Toby in a scene and have his daughter be one of the main characters. I don't think that's out of the question. And then the other two big ones were like Gwen Stacy. I don't think she's Gwen Stacy. And the other one was Firestar, Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, which would be fan-freaking-tastic. You'd be able to keep it street level. It'd also be great because I love that show growing up. I'm leaning towards either Firestar or Mayday. I think it just depends on if we find out if it's multiversal or street level. If it's multiversal, I'm leaning towards Mayday. If it's street level, I'm leaning towards Firestar. Do you have any thoughts? Is there any theory in particular you're leaning towards, Joe?
I just feel like, unfortunately, I don't know. I can't put my finger on exactly what this feeling is, but I am leaning towards MJ, not by choice.
Really?
But I don't know. There's something about it that feels off. It's very possible that she's not MJ, but at the same time, you know, we know that one side isn't in complete control.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've seen that they've made decisions that are not very likable before. So, I personally have always wanted like a live action accurate Mary Jane, but I still believe that you can do that with Michelle Jones, especially now because she doesn't know who Peter Parker is, and because she's separated from Peter Parker, she could become a new character. Essentially, she could become the Mary Jane that we know, and we've seen it. You know, in the interviews, Zendaya can definitely look like Mary Jane.
Right.
So, I feel like the best way to go would be to have Zendaya be Mary Jane still, but you know, it's a worrisome casting.
Well, the thing is, like, Zendaya's also in the movie. Like, we know MJ's in the movie. We know that Zendaya's in the movie. I don't think it's a big role at all. I think it might literally just be like Peter is checking in on her, make sure she's still safe. Like, kind of how in TASM 2, where Peter was like low-key spying on Gwen, but like just to make sure that she was okay. I think it's kind of the same thing. I don't think they're really gonna interact. Maybe one scene where like he goes, where like she's like, maybe it's summer break, and she works at that donut shop again during summer break, and he goes there again. It's like, hey, how was the school year? How you know, whatever. I don't think it's anything more than that. You're not wrong about that. About it, something feels off. I agree. But yeah, when we're gonna get to know, I hope today. I would love for them to officially be like Sadie Sink as so and so. Don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't think it's gonna happen. A Spectacular Spider-Man. That low-key is what the last Spider-Man movie should be. I think that's what Spider-Man 6 should be. I think it should be called Spectacular Spider-Man. Call it a day. Wrap up Tom Holland's Spider-Man story. Not like for good, like, you know, have him still be able to show up in future Miles movies and Avengers movies, and like maybe throw him into a Fantastic Four movie. Like, that'd be cool, but have his like solo stories wrap up in a nice ending. Call it Spectacular Spider-Man. Make $2 billion.
I think it should be Amazing Spider-Man rather than Spectacular.
They did that already, though. Twice.
But Amazing Spider-Man is just, it's the classic.
I know, I agree.
Comic, you know?
I don't disagree with you. I would be saying that too if they didn't already call two movies The Amazing Spider-Man. But Spectacular is arguably nowadays as iconic as a title for him because of the show.
Well, also Spectacular is in itself an iconic.
Well, right,
title.
yeah. But it's,
so I feel like you're almost setting yourself up because people are automatically going to compare whatever Tom Holland's last movie is to Spectacular Spider-Man. Sure. I feel like as good as it would be for the audience, if they would judge it even more than they already do.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Spider-Man Devil's Reign. That would that's the ideal title. Like, who's getting who? I think we can pretty much all agree. The ideal title for Spider-Man 4 is Spider-Man Devil's Reign, and it's Spider-Man Daredevil versus Kingpin with the Scorpion working for Kingpin. Like, that's the movie pretty much all of us want. but it's not the movie Sony wants, which means it's not the movie we're going to be getting. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Also, not a horrible title. I think that's one that a lot of us were throwing out there after No Way Home. And there was a theory a while back. I don't know if it was ever full rumor status, but a theory a while back that this movie, to kind of appease both sides, would be sort of set in a I think you said actually there's a moment in the comics where like Doom, where there's this like some orb or something that gives you like your wish. Am I onto something in Secret Wars? And like there's like a moment where Spider-Man sees his ideal perfect world.
Yeah, it's very different. It's in the first Secret Wars comic when Doom is losing the power of Molecule Man, it get transferred to anyone that's like touching him, and Spider-Man is one of the people tussling with him. So for a split moment, those powers get transferred to Spider-Man, and he sees his ideal life, sort of flash in a millisecond of a moment.
And I know that's different than the Brand New Day comic, but I think they could just take that name and then that little moment and like expand it over a 2-hour movie. That I think that actually would have been a very interesting idea. I was not opposed to that, and have it like end with, we cut to the battle at the end of Doomsday, and we see he's fighting with like a little sort of thing that connects it all. I think that could have been really, really cool. I don't think that's what it is at all, but I think that would have been really cool. What's up, Cameron? Any MCU heroes you're expecting? Iron Man, Homecoming, Fury, and Far From Home, Strange, No Way Home. Let's see if I can go down the list of all the MCU heroes that have been rumored for this movie. Well, Daredevil was like the first big one to be rumored for this movie. Shang-Chi was rumored at one point. Star-Lord was rumored at one point, I think. Ant-Man, I think, was rumored at one point. And there's one absolutely wild rumor that it's so crazy that it makes me nervous that it could be true. Where the rumor was Spider-Man and Punisher versus the Hulk. I'm trying to think if there's any others. I think those were all the MCU characters that were rumored. I think there's going to be at least one, because Sony seems to think you need to have at least one for these to make money for some reason. Not that let me make something clear. Iron Man, Fury, and Strange, they all worked very well for those movies. I don't think any felt forced or anything. And Daredevil would not have felt forced if it was Devil's Reign. I'm not really expecting anyone like Captain America or Iron Man level. Not that there really is anyone Captain America or Iron Man level. Oh, we're lagging a little bit. Good. All right. We good? We're back, I think. Oh no, we're still dropping frames. Why are we still dropping frames? Okay. I think... Nope. We good? I think we're good. Okay. Now I think we're good. Apologies about that. Like I said in the beginning, there might be some technical difficulties. My OBS, my streaming software, was being a little weird this morning, and then it just seemed to fix itself. So, if that happens again, like I said, just stay in the stream, and it'll be back up within a few minutes as I just, turn it off, turn it back on, pretty much. Anyway, let's, so the MC heroes, any MC heroes I'm expecting. I'm not expecting anyone, like, huge. And also, like with a lot of these theories and stuff, it's hard to say without knowing if it's street level or multiversal, like what the story is going to be. I could see maybe Shang-Chi because it's the same director. I saw a theory, I don't know, this might happen in the comics. Let me know if it happens in the comics or not, but I saw a theory that Hulk remembers who Peter Parker is and who Spider-Man is, but Banner doesn't. So they might have him in there to do that scene. I don't know though. Do you have any? Are you expecting any MCU heroes? And if so, who? Do you have a particular MCU hero you're expecting in this?
The only MCU hero that I would be hoping for would be Daredevil.
Right.
But knowing Sony, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah. Andrew Marshall, who do you think / wants Eddie Seen to play in Spider-Man 4, and do you think we'll find out tonight? I don't think we'll find out tonight. I would love to, but I don't think we'll find out tonight. I think that I have two different answers. I think she's gonna play either Mayday, Tobey Maguire's daughter, Mayday Parker, or Firestar. I want her to play Firestar. Or someone completely different, like, surprise us out of left field. Yeah, and yours is, you think she'll play MJ. Who do you want her to play?
I want her to play Firestar because I love Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I grew up on that, and I would love to see it in live action.
Hasm, do you think Marvel should make a Spider-Man Daredevil Deadpool project? No. I think they should make a Spider-Man Daredevil project. I think Spider-Man and Deadpool should interact in a project. I don't think there should be a movie with all three of them. And let me rephrase, because I think Secret Wars will have all three of them in it. I don't think there should be a movie that's a team-up between Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Deadpool. I think that's way too much, and clash is way too much. I think it should be Spider-Man and Daredevil team-up movie, and have Spider-Man and Deadpool interact in movies. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree.
Slice Dude, despite what you think the title will be, what do you want it to be? I want it to be Devil's Reign. I would love to be happily surprised and it be titled Devil's Reign. I think we can all but confirm, though, that it's not going to be that because just of scheduling, like when it's going to be filmed, like Spider-Man 4 is going to be filmed in the summer, kind of alongside Doomsday. And unfortunately, fortunately because it's getting made, unfortunately because the schedules clash, that also coincides with Daredevil Season 2, boarding in Season 2, which has already started filming, but it's a long shoot because it's like 8 episodes long. And Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio being the two leads of that show, it's not like they can just hop from the show to the movie as it's filming concurrently. So I know it's not going to be that, but I do really want it to be that. Would I want Kitty Pryde to be introduced to Spider-Man 4? No, I don't want any X-Men to be introduced to Spider-Man 4. I don't want any X-Men to be introduced in a movie that isn't their own. Or at least, like, if it's like Secret Wars and the MCU X-Men get introduced there, sure, that's fine. But I really want the MCU X-Men to make their first appearance in their own movie or own solo projects. Like, if they want to do a mini series on Disney Plus with each episode is an individual character story, or like special presentations for individual X-Men to like set up their stories before the X-Men. I think that's fine, but I don't want MCU X-Men to be relegated to being introduced to secondary characters, if that makes sense. Brand New Day is a leaked title, but knowing how much the script changed, the title may change too. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the script sounds like it has changed multiple times. There was a quote that came out today from Tom Hardy talking about how they came really close to a Venom Spider-Man team-up until it all fell apart. There's a rumor right around when Venom 3 was coming out that Spider-Man 4 was going to be Spider-Man and Venom versus Null, and everyone hated that. And Venom 3 did not do well, so it sounds like Sony was like, oops, and said, never mind. But at that point, I think it was too late to go back to the Daredevil thing that Marvel wanted. Spider-Man 4 doesn't need a tagline, and tagline titles are lame. I don't agree that they're lame. I disagree that it doesn't need one, because if you just call it Spider-Man 4, one, it is like so different than the previous trilogy. Also, you can't call any Spider-Man movie now that isn't a Tobey Maguire-led movie Spider-Man 4, because those movies are just Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. They don't need to be called anything different, but if there is a movie called Spider-Man 4, and it's not a part of the Tobey Maguire movies, that feels weird, I think. But also, like, every Tom Holland movie has had an actual title. I don't think they're going to stop now. They could talk about the live-action Miles film. I don't think there's going to be a live-action Miles film until after this trilogy is over. I think he'll be in this trilogy. I don't think he'll be in Spider-Man 4. I think he'll be in this trilogy. I don't think there's going to be a live-action Miles solo movie until after this trilogy is over. Yeah, we both want this to be a street-level movie. But according to the panel for 2026, the title is literally Spider-Man 4. Well, that's just because it hasn't been announced yet. There's also, like, Jumanji 3. You know, there's, that's just because the title's not announced yet. That happens quite often with these stuff. Like, they'll just put a poster up for, like, sometimes it's even just untitled, you know, X movie. And then, like, they announce the title somewhere else, and then they'll change, you know, in future conventions, it'll be called the actual title. I don't have a fan cast for MCU Miles Morales. I think they should cast an unknown actor that is mixed. Do you agree, disagree with that?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it should be an unknown actor. I think a lot of people fan cast Miles based on appearance rather than, you know, ethnicity, which is a vital part to Miles's character.
Right.
So yeah, I think it should be an unknown actor because you would want Miles to sort of not take over the mantle, but you know, Tom Holland.
No, I mean, yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
Then yeah, take over the mantle because so you would want to cast someone younger, and you would want to cast someone new.
Yeah, I agree. No new X-Men until after Secret Wars. That's low-key what I'm hoping. Also because now we know, now that we know that the X-Men, like the Fox X-Men, are gonna be in Doomsday and most likely Secret Wars. Like, I'm assuming everyone who was announced for Doomsday is also going to be in Secret Wars. Like, I really want them to get their final time in the spotlight. I really do, especially James Marsden as Cyclops, obviously. Like, that's for me. But, like, I really want them to get their last final hoorah, final time in the spotlight to actually be done. I love the Fox movies, but, like, to actually be done right and accurately. And I think if you introduce the MCU X-Men, all the attention... maybe not all the attention, like, we'll still be talking about it, but a lot of the attention then diverts to that, and talking about that. Then it does, the focus doesn't stay on the Fox X-Men. So I both agree and hope that you're right. Any chance Nicolas Cage pop... Alright, let's see. Alright, let's give it a second to hopefully readjust. Nope, we're still dropping some frames. Apologies, guys. I think it just started to rain also, so that might cause some issues. Let me know that, are we, I think we're still lagging a little bit. Okay, we're good. Nope, now we're back in the red. Apologies about this, guys. We still got about 20 minutes until the panel starts, so hopefully I can sort of figure this out. I'm just gonna keep talking now. I don't think that it's shut off completely. Okay. Anyway.
They're saying it's fine now.
Alright, cool. Any chance Nicolas Cage pops up in Noir, as Noir in Doomsday and the Ghost Rider in Secret Wars? I don't think he popped up as Noir anywhere except his own show. I think he'll appear as Ghost Rider in Secret Wars, but I don't think he'll pop up as Noir in Doomsday. I think that's just like... I don't think there's really a point to that, and then it's just kind of like, if you're gonna have a Spider-Man, why him? You know? Oh, now we're down a low bit rate. Do you think Into the Spider-Verse Miles will appear in Secret Wars? No, I don't. Do you think Into the Spider-Verse Miles will appear in Secret Wars?
It's really tough to say because I don't know what they would do.
I think we're still dropping frames. I don't think that fixed a thing. YouTube told me the wrong thing to do. No, we're just dropping frames like crazy right now. No, it's nothing to do with the background. It seems to be a connection issue. Okay, now I think we're good. I think we're good now. Yeah, this is gonna be live streamed. I'm gonna there's people that are gonna be live posting from the panel, and I'm gonna have their feeds up and running. Okay, I think we're good now. I hope it doesn't continue. I apologize about that, guys. Anyway. We left off on, do you think Into the Spider-Verse Miles will appear in Secret Wars? No, I do not. Joe, what do you think?
Right, I was saying that I don't know if they're going to do any animated characters. It's really hard to say because I don't know how they would get them to work in a live-action appearance. Obviously, we've seen Donald Glover's Prowler in an animated series, but this is different because this is in the live action world.
Right.
So seeing animated characters like that would be weird, but I could see them trying things out, and if they find a way to make it work, they could appear, but it's one of those things where I honestly really don't know.
I also think we got to get Miles in his own movie. You know, let his movie come out first before thinking about appearing in other movies. It's taking a little while. The Cavalry can easily be retconned and be in the Mutant Saga with the small origin. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind him as Wolverine. I don't think he'll be the MC Wolverine, but I wouldn't mind it. I'd like Spider-Man to mostly be street level, but since I imagine he's in Secret Wars, there's got to be some sort of multiverse element to the movie. I disagree. I disagree with that thought. I agree that it should be street level. I disagree that because he's going to be in Secret Wars and probably Doomsday, that his movie then has to be multiversal. Doesn't need to be at all. Spider-Man 4 could very easily take place before Doomsday and before Secret Wars, and that wouldn't need to be multiversal at all. It could be going on. One rumor is goes on at the same time as Doomsday, so he's doing his own thing while everyone else is doing with multiverse stuff, which once again doesn't have to be multiversal. So I don't think it has to be at all. I think just because he's in those movies doesn't mean his movie has to be multiversal. But didn't the Cross Part 1 and 2 teaser release for Cinemacon 2022, or is that different event? Honestly, I don't know. I don't really follow Cinemacon, and also that was so long ago, I honestly don't remember. It very well could have been. I don't think we'll get a trailer, though, for Beyond the Spider-Verse here, unless they surprise us and, like, surprise, it's next year. Which I don't think it is. That would be great, but I don't think it is. If it was Spider-Man, if it was named Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, I would expect sometime Ashmore being confirmed to be in Spider-Man Iceman. No, it would be a new Iceman. It would not be Sean Ashmore. Sean Ashmore is like 50. He's 45. It would be a new Iceman. Definitely. Do you think that quote-unquote Venom Spider-Man will appear in Spider-Man 4 Secret Wars? I do. I don't think it'll be in Spider-Man 4. I think we'll get the symbiote suit in Secret Wars. What do you think about that?
I hope that there is a moment or a alternative poster where he has that pose and he has the symbiote suit on in its first appearance, in its first comic issue.
I agree.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Raj Sharma says, title reveal could be it, just like how they showed that video for No Home title reveal where he wore his trigonomic t-shirt and in the news is waste Andrew and Toby will be cameo by MCU. I think they might cameo in it. I don't think they would be the MCU cameo. But I agree, it's probably just gonna be a title reveal. It's a legacy sequel for I Know What You Did Last Summer, so the old characters will show up from the old movies. Oh, interesting. Okay. That means Hardy Prince Jr. That's pretty cool. Do you think Daredevil Born Again story can continue to Spider-Man 4? It should. It's not going to, but it should. But, you know, Sony seemed to have said no. What do you think about Zendaya returning in Spider-Man 4? I have no real opinion on it. I think it makes sense from a business standpoint. I don't think it's really going to impact the story very much. I think it's going to be a very small role. But I think it makes sense from a business standpoint. Do you have any thoughts on it, Joe?
Yeah, from a business standpoint, I also see that it's a smart move. I need to see the weight of her role before I can even say if it's like a good or bad thing. But right off the bat, I can definitely say if she has a major role, and in a way that undoes the events of No Way Home, I would be a little bit disappointed. But
Yeah, that's
I
valid.
understand that some people are different than I am.
Think if they announce any cast, they'll make it pretty vague. I agree, but at least it's something. You know, I think if once we hear some more cast, I think we might be able to start piecing some things together. Like when Sadie Sink was announced, I was like, if we get an announcement of a white guy that's like around Sadie Sink and Tom Holland's age with brown hair and brown eyes, probably means he's Iceman now, and he probably is Iceman, and not doesn't mean 100%, but like a little more evidence that it could be that. Donovan Martin, welcome to Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. Says, think any updates on Beyond the Spider-Verse? I don't. I think Beyond the Spider-Verse is still a few years away. I would love one. I would love at least like early 2028 or something. But I still think it's a few years away, so I don't think we'll really get anything here, unfortunately. Do you think Vincent's Kingpin and Spider-Man will ever meet? I do. I think they're just going to do the Daredevil Kingpin stuff in Spider-Man 5 instead. But I think that's a bit of a letdown because it kind of wastes Spider-Man 4. But I do. I think they'll meet in Spider-Man 5. What do you think?
Yeah, I for sure think they'll eventually meet, because you're not going to have Kingpin, who started out as a Spider-Man villain, and Spider-Man never meet.
Right. I agree. They did major Venom 3 announcements last year at Cinemacon, from what I remember. So, yeah, it's not impossible that there's Spider-Man 4 stuff. Like, majors. I honestly think it's just a title. But I do hope I'm wrong. In a way that it's more than that. I don't hope I'm wrong that we don't get the title. I hope we at least get the title. But I would love for it to be more. More casting. I think that's not impossible either. I wonder how this movie will ruin Peter's life this time. Yeah. I don't think it'll be as substantial, though, as Far From Home or No Way Home. I think it's going to kind of be, for lack of a better term, a filler movie. Unfortunately. What do you think about Channing Tatum and Doomsday? That was the most excited I got out of all the announcements. I mean, I'm so excited for James Marsden as Cyclops. Like, words don't express how excited I am to see him hopefully properly adapted as Cyclops and written well and with care as Cyclops. And to maybe even see him in a comic-accurate suit. But, I mean, like, you can't help but root for Channing Tatum as Gambit. And the fact that he's in Doomsday with the Avengers and the rest of the X-Men, it's like, good for you, guy. Like, that's awesome. Good for you. So I'm very, very happy and very excited for it.
You did shout the loudest. When
I really
his name
did.
popped up.
I lost my voice for like 10 minutes after that. Moana 3 slated film panel. Yeah, Moana 3 will probably be at the Disney panel on Wednesday, which I won't be doing a stream for because I'm busy at that time. And I don't think there's really going to be much Marvel anyway there. Like, maybe something Thunderbolts, maybe something Fantastic Four, but nothing really huge. Probably nothing huge for Doomsday because we just got that big announcement anyway, so yeah. Do you think Avengers Doomsday will be Avengers vs. X-Men? I don't think it'll be Avengers vs. X-Men. I think there will be a scene that's Avengers vs. X-Men. But I don't think it'll fully be an Avengers vs. X-Men movie. The new suit looks good. Don't want to spoil it for people, but I'm excited for it. What games would we want to see in a Marvel gaming verse? A Daredevil game. That's really all I want from Marvel. I want a Daredevil game. Hearing could be street level. That'd be cool. I would love it. That would be a wonderful, wonderful surprise. I don't think it's going to be, but that would be fantastic. To be honest... Oh. What? Oh, shut up. To be honest, I'm done with the multiverse. Just let Secret Wars be the end of it. I agree that the end of it in Marvel. DC, I think, still has a lot of multiverse potential to explore, and they should explore it. I think DC does the multiverse better than Marvel, so... But I think it should be the end with Marvel. But let's keep in mind... And you may not have liked Doctor Strange, and that's totally fair. But I did. But every multiverse project in the MCU has done very well. And I say every, like there's been a lot. Really just been Doctor Strange 2, No Way Home, and Loki. Maybe I'm missing one or two, but it's really just been that. The internet has really blown this whole multiverse out of proportion. I know it's called the Multiverse Saga, so they kind of did that to themselves, but like the internet, social media did what the internet and social media does and takes something and blows out of proportion, and then I'm not saying you or anyone in here, but like the general collective just runs with it and doesn't think about it. And it's like, yes, this is 100% right. I hate it, without really thinking about it for themselves. And the multiverse is kind of that. Really, all the multiverse projects that have come out, other than, like I said, I mean, I guess Madam Web, you could also argue, but even then, it's like, it's just like possible futures. It didn't really deal with the multiverse too much. Other than The Flash, like, did really well, either critically or financially or both.
I mean, just look at the live stream for Doomsday and how hyped people are for that and the views that it got. It obviously, what people are saying about being tired out or having the superhero fatigue just is definitely exaggerated, given, you know, how the reaction to that.
Right. What do you think about Invincible Season 3? Loved it. Peak. Absolute peak. Alright, I'm going to try to get to some newer chats from people that haven't had their chat ready yet. It'd be fun if Tom Holland as Spider-Man meets RDJ Downey Jr. as Doomsday. I think they will. I think that's going to be like, not quote-unquote the scene of Doomsday, but I know he wasn't announced for Doomsday. I think it's because there's not a deal put in place yet, because he's currently filming The Odyssey. And then he's going to go probably right into Spider-Man 4. So I think it's going to be a Mandalorian situation. And this was rumored, and I think it makes sense, where most of the time Spider-Man's on screen in Doomsday, he has his mask on. So it's like a stunt double doing the actual body performance, and then most of the other time, like the voice is just done afterwards in a sound booth. And then there'll be like one scene where he takes his mask off, so Tom Holland can be on set for one day while they're filming Spider-Man 4 in London, like next to, maybe not right next to, but like pretty much next to Doomsday, where they're filming it in London. And like, just like, hey, okay, you're not on Spider-Man 4 today, you're on Doomsday today, or this week, whatever, goes over, does that scene, takes his mask off, and that's it for his appearance in Doomsday. What do you think about that? Do you agree, disagree?
Oh yeah, for sure. No matter what, I definitely think that they wouldn't miss the opportunity to have an interaction with them, have a moment with them, because of their connection previously,
right?
Just as Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Totally. XNVL, you think they'll ever adapt a Spider-Man Deadpool movie, and if they still use Tom Holland Spider-Man? I don't think they'll do a straight up Spider-Man Deadpool movie, because it's kind of like no one's in their element, which could be a part of the movie, but like, if it's R-rated, then Spider-Man's an R-rated movie. If it's PG-13, then Deadpool is one of the main characters in a PG-13 movie, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing in all scenarios. Like, if Deadpool is one of the main characters in, like, Avengers Secret Wars, or if he's, like, a side character in a Spider-Man movie, or if he's a side character in an X-Men movie, that's fine. I don't think they would ever do Deadpool as a lead in a PG-13 movie. So I don't think they'll do that, but I do think Spider-Man and Deadpool will interact. Like, I think it's totally possible in, like, Spider-Man 5 or 6, Deadpool shows up and, like, has a quick cameo. I don't think that's impossible. But I don't think they'll do a Spider-Man Deadpool movie. What do you think?
I definitely agree. Like you said, they're just both two different elements, and while it would be fun to see that movie, and I think that a lot of people would want that because of the episode in the Ultimate Spider-Man show, I don't think that for a movie that would work. You know, Deadpool works best with characters fitting more towards him. Like the Deadpool and Wolverine movie worked so well because there was a build up to that, and it makes sense in universe. But right now, there's just no reason to really do that.
Yeah. Janky Ace 4L, Shang-Chi was not confirmed for Spider-Man 4. That was just a rumor because the Shang-Chi director is directing Spider-Man 4. Will they announce May Spider-Man 3? Highly doubt it. That movie I doubt it ever gets made. It now starts in 2.5 minutes. Once the panel actually starts, once it hits, 2.5 minutes from now, there's still probably gonna be a couple minutes before any actual posts happen because they gotta come out on stage, be like, "Hey, thank you all for coming." Blah blah blah. No pictures, like all that jazz. They gotta do their housekeeping stuff. Cooper Goats, what's up, man? How's it going? How you doing? Hey, Dingus, just reminiscing about the old live streams this weekend. Good to hear you. Good to see you, man. Hope everything's going well. I was also reminiscing about the old live streams this weekend. Good times. Good times. Movie Sports, will you do this tomorrow for the Warner Brothers panel of Superman? No, I will not. I don't really post on the DC channel anymore. I don't really do YouTube anymore, not because I quit and I'm not done for good, but it's just other things I got to prioritize in my life that I just, had to prioritize more. And unfortunately, that channel, because of the way I built it when I was younger and more naive, a lot of people that are subscribed to the channel are like Snyder Bros. So the DC content right now is not fun to make because it's a bunch of Snyder Bros. I'm hoping sometime in the future, once I come back to YouTube and then come back to the DC channel, I can build it into something that, like this channel, where it's like chill and fun and people are cool. But the DC content's not really fun content to make right now. I think Deadpool and Spider-Man should have a special together. I would so be down for a special presentation. The only thing is, since Spider-Man is a Sony character, that almost definitely can't happen. But I would love it. I think that would be the best way to do it. Like, I would love that. That'd be amazing. That'd be absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. Josh on YouTube, do you think we'll get anything for Beyond Spider-Verse? No, would we say they announced release date? I think release date maybe like release year, but I think Beyond the Spider-Verse is still a little too far away to announce actual release date. Do you have any news here? All right, while we transition to the other page, let's discuss Daniel's question here. Who do you think the villain will be for Spider-Man 4? Joe, I'm going to have you go first for this.
Who do I think the villain will be? Honestly, as far as the rumors and everything goes, I honestly do not know, but I'm hoping beyond hope it is Scorpion, because there are multiple reasons, but one is that we've already gotten Scorpion in the MCU. We already got Scorpion in Homecoming, and I think it's long overdue that he appears in live action. But also, I think we will not spoil Daredevil, but I think what they're doing in Daredevil sets up the storyline of Scorpion so perfectly for this movie. That's who I'm hoping, and we saw that in the animated show Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. He worked really well. So I think that Scorpion would be the perfect choice. That's who I'm hoping against. Hope that it is. As far as who I genuinely think it will be, it could honestly be anybody.
Yeah, I honestly didn't really pay attention to what you were saying because I was setting up the other screen. But I honestly have no guesses for who I think it's gonna be. I very much, we talked about this already. I very much want it to be Kingpin. I know it's not going to be, but I very much want it to be Kingpin. I don't really have many guesses though for who I think it's gonna be, if I'm being totally honest with you. Alright. Apologies guys, I'm just setting up the other thing, the other part of the stream. Trying to make it so it looks nicer. Okay. That works. This works. All right. So, if you haven't been to one of my live streams before about a panel, we're also jumping. I'm jumping in the chat now to the most recent stuff. So I apologize if I missed any of your chats. We had some technical difficulties earlier, which made it so that I couldn't answer every single chat. I very much apologize. I am very, very thankful for everyone that's turning into the stream right now. Shout out to all 323 of you. That's actually crazy. I didn't realize that there were that many people in here. I'll ask this once, and I won't ask it for the rest of the live stream. If you haven't already, feel free to hit the like button. Just throwing that out there. That'd be cool, but don't have to. Thank you to everyone tuning in right now. That is awesome. I was not expecting that many people here. But, so, if you haven't been into one of my live streams before where we cover panels, then what we do is I have a bunch of different Twitter profiles pulled up here. They automatically refresh. People are always like, refresh. It automatically refreshes. And, yeah, these are panels that discussing film, One Take, and Hollywood Handle are all at the panel, so they'll be live tweeting from the panel. And then I have the Sony Pictures thing here because it's the Sony Pictures panel. So, like I said, it takes a couple minutes for things to actually get started. But, yeah, it's a 2-hour panel. Let's hope I don't max out on tweets. And let's have a good time. Make sure you keep your expectations in check. But a big thing here already. Let's take a look at this. Christopher Miller teases Spider-Verse news tonight at Cinemacon with a little spider symbol. Now, Joe had sent me a post I didn't show on the stream because it was taken with a grain of salt, but apparently one of the directors was spotted, but may have been Christopher Miller. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Let's keep an eye on that. Sony Pictures panel has started, so yeah, let's keep an eye on that while we continue with the chats here. Texas Electric. I'm just gonna shout out to people that I didn't get to read their stuff from. Jacob, Joseph, Lemon, Cat Rod, Cronenbold, Austin, JK, Jacob Wells, Diego, Ashby, Hijack, Jay-Z the Man, Broswald, Jason Branch, what's up, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in here. Appreciate it. Arthur, what's up, guys? Vines, Bloom, what's going on? Hypno Hustler? I hope not. I hope that movie was what we thought it was and just PR. Will we get something in a live-action Legend of Zelda movie? That's probably going to flop. It's the people behind Mountain Web, more behind the movie. Ooh, I did not know it was behind them. That won't be here. That'll probably be at unless it's Sony. I don't think it's a Sony thing. That'll probably be at some like Nintendo Direct or something. I don't know if it'll be them. The reason I believe Sadie Sink could be Silk is because Silk and Peter were bitten by the same Spider-Man, and she would be the next potential love interest. Yes, but Silk is not white, I don't think. So I don't think that is the case.
We also already have Cindy Moon.
We do technically already have Cindy Moon. It's very possible they recast, but like we also we do have Cindy Moon. Yeah, the Cindy Sweeney is single page. That's so funny. That is so funny that it's right there. The show starts with introducing us to Cinemacon with the sizzle reel of last year's films. Okay, so this has no indication on what's gonna be shown here. This was just films that were showcased last year at Cinemacon. This is the first big panel of Cinemacon. Zelda movie is a Sony movie. Maybe then. I guess that's not impossible. Although that was just announced for 2027, so I think they're probably going to focus on 2025 and like maybe 2026 stuff. It's not impossible though. I would like an MCU Venom series. I know there's a Sony, but it could be cool to add Venom officially to the MCU. I would love that too. I would love a Venom series that's not Tom Hardy's Venom, or like I've always said this as well. Tom Hardy could have been an amazing choice as Venom. It's just the way the character was directed and the acting choices and written was so not Eddie Brock. But like he would not have been a bad cast. I think though, Alan Richardson, please. That'd be great. The only announcement that could be made for Beyond the Spider-Verse is a release date, or actually that's it because I'm sure they haven't been any voice work. No, there are voice work stuff. And they do stuff animated. But I don't think we'll get like a trailer or anything because it's still a few years out probably. It ends with us because a big reaction. That's funny. What's better, Spider-Man 4 news or Sydney Sweeney being single news? Look, this might be a hot take, y'all. I'm not big on Sydney Sweeney. I'm not a Sydney Sweeney guy. I'm also not into blondes, so usually, so like that could be into it, but low key, not really into Sydney Sweeney. Yeah. What do you think about what Marvel did? They pulled a Smash Ultimate. Everyone is here, dude. It was hype. I started watching about 20 minutes into the stream, and then we watched for the rest of the day, or for the rest of the stream. So that was very hype. I was saying this throughout the whole time we were watching, but it felt like we were back in like peak MCU days in like 2017. I loved it, and I hope they do more stuff like that. Can you watch it? There is no live stream for the panel. This is the best we can get without actually being at the panel. I do think Tom Hardy does a good Venom voice. It's a shame we won't see it again. I agree he does a good Venom voice. That's about it. I love Tom Hardy as an actor. This is not me like crapping on Tom Hardy. I love Tom Hardy as an actor. But in terms of like kind things I can say about his Venom, his voice is pretty much the only thing I can give a compliment to. Should the Clone Saga be in the MCU? I don't know about the Clone Saga as much as Joe, so I'm going to give this to Joe.
No.
Nope. Okay. Yep.
No, it should not.
That's what I figured the answer would be. I did enjoy the first two Venoms, but it felt too rushed for me to really enjoy the characters. Look, I mean, here's the thing. Like, the first Venom movie, as a movie, it's fine. Venom 2, if you're just like, all right, I'm going to take this as an experience, it's a fun experience. As Venom movies, not good. I have not seen the third one, but Joe does not speak of it highly. Daniel Rosales, I would like for Spider-Man 4 to be street level and not let him be in Doomsday so that we can see what Peter can do alone. I think it could be both street level and also have him in Doomsday. I think we could have both. I also want it to be street level. Moreland could be a good villain for Spider-Man 4, as it would be street level and then set this up for a later multiverse movie. Yeah, you're not wrong. That wouldn't be terrible. I mean, it's a villain we haven't seen before. So it's not impossible. I think the easiest way to connect Kingpin to Spider-Man is have him hire Scorpion or Sable as part of anti-vigilante agenda. Not even that. Like, literally what Kingpin's doing in Born Again should be enough. Like, the anti-vigilante task force should be enough. But because of the Sony thing, it's not. It's very unfortunate. Any chance we could get a Beyond the Spider-Verse teaser that shows us clips from across and then it cuts a few frames from BTSV? It's possible that people in attendance get that. Look, nothing's impossible, but I really don't think there's any chance that the public, that we get any Beyond the Spider-Verse footage. What's up, Fruccio and Senses? Chantel, what's going on? They're still introducing the panel and everything. It usually takes a few minutes for panels to get started. I streamed and jumped when I saw James Marsden's name on the announcement. Yeah, that was pretty great. Tuned in only for 28 years later. Hey, fair enough, Martin. That movie looks really good. That is arguably one of the greatest trailers I've ever seen. Especially in recent memory. That trailer was absolutely phenomenal. I'm very excited for it. Very, very excited for that movie. Frozen to Blonde's crazy. Hey, I mean, like, you know, we all have our types, dog. Blonde just aren't my type. I'm more into dark hair, you know? I have my exceptions. Like, you all know I'm a Florence Pugh stan. Like, I love me Florence Pugh, but I'm not totally into blondes most of the time. Who's ready for Comic-Con 2025? Me? I will be doing a live stream for that. Definitely. We'll be there. Well, we won't be there, but, like, we'll be here. James Marsden was the perfect Scott cast and has lots of aura, but was done dirty. Oh, I 100%. I 100% agree. I think the casting of James Marsden as Cyclops had the potential to be in the discussion for the comic book live-action casting Mount Rushmore. I think I fully believe that, and totally wasted. And I hope there's at least one scene in Doomsday where he gets to actually be Cyclops and not just the dude that Jean Grey is dating that's an asshole to Wolverine. Because that's really all he is in those movies. And he's so much more than that. Well, I mean, let's be real. He is that, too, in the comics. But, like, That's not all he is. He is that's like one small portion of his character, but that's all they decided to focus on. There's going to be a part 2 to the Doomsday casting announcements. Yeah, the rumor seems to be that they just announced the people who are officially signed on, and then they're still working on deals and finalizing deals for the rest of the cast. Refresh the page so that it refreshes on its own. There's no need for me to refresh. It refreshes on its own. Like, I'll do one refresh for you just to prove it. It'd be funny if there's new stuff here. Yeah, see, it refreshes on its own. It even, like, that top tweet there. There we go. We just got one, and here we go. Yeah, it refreshes on its own. Venom movies would have done wonders if the writers were smart and had characters like Kraven as villains. Yeah, there's the what if for sure. The what if for sure. Toby for Spider-Man 4, please. That would be great. That would be great. I think one of my guesses for who Sadie Sink is playing Mayday as Toby's daughter. I don't want that to be true because I want it to be street level, but I think we can pretty much accept the fact now that it's multiverse. So if they're doing multiverse, do something interesting. Am I excited for Karate Kid Legends? I am. It looks really good. I still have to finish Cobra Kai. I haven't watched the last season of Cobra Kai yet, so no spoilers, but I am excited for it. I think Daredevil will be in the post-credit scene, even if it's not in the movie. I disagree because I think the post-credit scene is going to have to do with Secret Wars or Doomsday and not Daredevil, unfortunately. What would you personally say is the best news as MCU fans? The best news that we've ever gotten or the best news that we could get? Because I think those would be different opinions and different things. Best news we could get for MCU for both of us. I mean, the best news that I could get for MCU would just, I mean, I know we already have an X-Men movie, but like we know it's gonna come out, but I think for me, honestly, the best news would be an X-Men movie that Cyclops leads. I don't think there should be a main character in an X-Men movie. It should be an ensemble movie, but just honestly, an X-Men movie that Cyclops is the leader in. That honestly, that's genuinely all I need right now with Marvel. I have been satisfied with Marvel with pretty much every other character that I love. I just need Cyclops to be done right, and I'm happy. That's all I really need. What would be your best possible MCU news, Joe?
The Amazing Spider-Man 3.
There you go. All right, fair enough.
Genuinely, because Andrew Garfield is my favorite actor to portray Spider-Man, so getting another movie with him would just be the best news for me. That might be a hot take, but that would be the best news for me. It's nearly impossible, but still.
Fair enough. Speak your truth. Any chance of Sinister Six film? I think it's highly unlikely. The Sinister Six film that they wanted to do, I think is dead in the water because of how bad their movies have done. Yes, we did see the Christopher Miller tweet, so it not impossible that we get something Beyond the Spider-Verse related. Hoping for the best here, hoping for something. There's a theory running around as to why Spider-Man might not be on Avengers Doomsday, but is in Secret Wars and plays a similar role on what Ant-Man did at Endgame. What is the theory? I think he is in Doomsday. I just think the reason why he wasn't announced is because the deal's not finalized for Tom Holland, because they're just figuring out scheduling and everything. But what is the theory? I'm curious to hear it. Neil owns 2025. Marvel's looking for a 46-year-old actor, so I think Sable will be the main villain and will hire the Sinister Six. I think it would be too soon for Sinister Six. I think Sinister Six should be Spider-Man 6. I think like it's too perfect, so that's why it's not gonna happen. Just like how it's too perfect right now to do Daredevil and Kingpin in Spider-Man 4, and it's not happening. Like Spider-Man 6 to finally do the Sinister Six as the last Tom Holland solo Spider-Man movie, like come on, that's too perfect to do. But I think it's too soon, honestly, because we just got the quote-unquote Sinister Five. I know he didn't fight them all, but like the quote-unquote, I know he did, not all at once, but like he did fight them all at one point in the movie. So yeah, but we just got that. All Sunday Blondes, thank you. Brunette's low-key underrated. Low-key more than low-key underrated. Like, high-key underrated. That's what I'm saying, Joe, bro. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you. Got some people with taste in the chat. Thank you. What's up, Jake? What's up, Siren? James Marsden shaped me to be a better man. I adored him when I saw X-Men as a kid. Real dog, like, Cyclops, I always loved him because of James Marsden's small performance as a kid, and that started me to loving Cyclops, and I looked into him as a, into the comics, and he became my favorite Marvel character. So yeah. Alan Cumming and Rebecca Romijn were surprising for you for Doomsday. Alan Cumming was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty cool. The Rebecca Romijn Mystique, that was the big surprise for me. That was like, wow, okay, they're doing that. All right, interesting. That would be cool. No, I totally agree with you. You know who I am. I totally agree that Tom should get the spotlight in Spider-Man 4. The unfortunate thing is, doesn't seem like Sony agrees, and that's what matters. That's the unfortunate thing. They should introduce Miles in Spider-Man 4. Post-credit scene and Peter should train Miles in Spider-Man. I'm assuming you meant Spider-Man 5. I think it should be introduced Miles in Spider-Man 5. Have him get bit at the end of that, and then train him in Spider-Man 6. That's what I think it should be. What do you think about that, Joe? What are your thoughts on how they should introduce Miles?
Honestly, I really don't know. As far as Miles goes, I feel like there's so much with Peter that it still feels to me a little bit too soon to do Miles, because we haven't established Peter's own Norman yet. I feel like we have to get a lot of stories with that before we get the stories with Miles.
I'm also not convinced the villain in Doomsday is not Norman. Not Doomsday, sorry. Not Doomsday. Spider-Man 4. I'm not convinced that Norman's not in Spider-Man 4. Look, like, do I think it's the likeliest villain? No. But I'm not convinced. I think, because I agree. I think sooner or later, he's going to show up. I think sooner or later, he's going to be in the MCU. It's possible they save Norman, like the big Norman Green Goblin stuff for Miles. But, like, I'm not convinced he's not in Spider-Man 4. And that's, like, the big news. Have you seen the Avengers Doomsday fan art? If so, why do you think Elena would be a servant of Doom? I don't think she would have a choice. I think it's a whole thing of, like, Doom. I think that would be more for Secret Wars, that stuff. I also don't think that art is all too relevant anymore. That seems to be, like, early concept art. But let's say that art is true. I think it's a situation where, like, they're all at Doom's disposal. Like Doom is the one in control. He it's not their choice. Like, she would be at Doom's command. Do you think Madam Web was better before the ADR and reshoots? I haven't seen Madam Web. No, I don't. Well, you know what? Like, I have seen clips of Madam Web, specifically the stuff you're talking about, like the wanky, janky ADR stuff. Some people are saying Twitter is down. It's been 20 minutes, and there's been nothing. Joe, like, you actually have Twitter, I think, right? Can you check?
Yeah.
I did see someone say Twitter is down, which would be crazy luck. Okay, here's my answer to this, Prisms. In terms of pure filmmaking, probably just for the fact that there wouldn't be the distracting ADR. In terms of, like, overall experience, no, because I think before the ADR and reshoots, Madam Web was probably just bad. From what I hear about Madam Web, I have no desire to watch it, but from what I hear about Madam Web, it's, like, so bad that if you're watching it under the right circumstances, if you catch what I'm, throwing down, it could be a fun time with friends to just, like, totally crap on the movie. I don't think it would be that if it didn't have all the crappy ADR and reshoots, if that makes sense. As I am new to Marvel, what is the best way to truly understand and enjoy the MCU? The best way is just watch it in release order and have a good time, Don't let anyone dictate what you should like and dislike. Don't let anyone dictate what your enjoyment should be. Like, if you watch an MCU movie or an MCU show and you like it, and then you go online and see people dislike it, don't let that change your opinion on it. Like what you like, and at the same time, also dislike what you dislike. But I'm a firm believer in, if you're watching the MCU for the first time, if you're watching any franchise for the first time, watch it release order, and yeah, just take it project by project, and just have a good time. You know, you probably won't enjoy every single project, and that's okay. Know that, understand that. In a franchise that's as big as Marvel, as the MCU, there are going to be projects that aren't for you, and that's okay. There should be projects that are for different people. And in these kind of franchises, they shouldn't try to cater to every single fan in each project. So know that there are going to be movies, there are going to be shows, there are going to be projects in the MCU that you just don't like. That doesn't mean everything is bad. That doesn't mean you suddenly dislike Marvel. It's just okay to dislike some stuff. But watch it in release order, have a good time, and I hope you do. I hope you enjoy the stuff you watch.
It looks like Twitter isn't down.
Looks like, okay.
But it's odd. It seems like it might be down for some people, and for others it's not.
Interesting. So it looks like now there are Twitter technical difficulties. I'm going to apologize because that's the kind of person I am, but I know literally nothing I can do about it. We'll be here. Like, until we see a tweet that says Sony's presentation is over, we'll be here. So we'll just keep chatting, we'll keep chatting with you guys. Actually, let me also delete my pin message because it has started already, so there's no reason for me to still have that. I can't the way I have it set up. Never mind. Let's keep going. So waiting on Tobey's Spider-Man 4 they promised. Look, I would love that. I don't think we need it though. I mean, I'd be there day one. Don't get me wrong. If they announce that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 like it's actually happening, I'm there day one. I'm there day two. I'm even there day three, and I'm cheering for the heavens. But I don't think we need it. I like hot take. All right, be prepared for this hot take. Actually, probably be prepared for this double hot take. All right, double hot take. Ready, guys? Spider-Man 3. It's my favorite of the Tobey Maguire trilogy. I also think Spider-Man 3 is a pretty solid end to that story. And we know that from No Way Home that him and MJ, they're still together. They're working it out. So, and he'll show up in Secret Wars. Make no mistake, he'll be in Secret Wars, and we'll probably get a little more of his story there. But like I said, I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. I'm there. I'm seated. But I don't think we really need it. You really need to finish Cobra Kai Season 6. It was so good. That's what I hear. I know, that's what I hear. I gotta get on it. I have seen the new Daredevil suit for Season 2. It looks wonderful. Unpopular opinion, a show or movie in the MCU doesn't need to be rated to be M or R to be good. I agree. That's not necessarily a hot take, but there are characters like Daredevil, Punisher, and Deadpool who having it be rated M or R most likely does make it better than it would have been otherwise. John Lindell gets a beautiful tribute during the opening remarks of Cinemacon to applause. All right, so we're back. We're slowly getting crumbs here. Slowly getting crumbs. Okay, pitch X movie plot. I know you want to. I genuinely don't have one. Straight up, I don't have an X-Men movie plot pitch because I just don't. I mean, like, I would love to see a proper live-action adaptation of Days of Future Past and Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix and Avengers vs. X-Men. Like, I would love, slightly changed Avengers vs. X-Men, but like, you know what I'm saying. Like, I would love those stories, but there isn't really an X-Men story that I have. I don't have an idea for it. I just want a good story. Like, the X-Men are the team that is so just like, you just do, not whatever, but I feel like there's a lot more freedom with the X-Men to do their own new story in the MCU, and I want them to do that. I want to see something new with the X-Men while staying true to the characters, if that makes sense. Like a Cyclops-focused film, but still has a big cast around him. I guess, to put it like simply, yeah, but I don't want Cyclops to be like the main character, because I don't think there should be a main character in an X-Men story, in an X-Men movie or X-Men story. And I know this is a show, so it is slightly different because of runtimes, but X-Men 97 does it perfectly. Like, X-Men 97 right now is easily the best X-Men adaptation we have. Like, by far. It clears the Fox movies. And because Cyclops, leader of the X-Men, written extremely well, but every character has their moments to shine. Every character feels like they belong there and make a difference. Maybe not Jubilee, but everyone else feels like they have something to do and belong there. And have something to do with the story. So, I want it to be more like that. I know Spider-Man can't really appear in Disney shows, but do you think there's a chance that Spider-Man appears like in a post-credit scene on Daredevil Born Again? I would love it. I would love it. I don't think there's a chance, but I would love it. I think the best news for you would be if Florence Pugh played all the X-Men. No, you're right. You're right. That is true. A movie where Florence Pugh plays everybody and they're all the X-Men. You're right. That would be the best news for me. 100%. If we get a Beyond the Spider-Verse, I keep saying Beyond the Spider-Verse release date, I will float away. I would love it. And like, if it's earlier than I expected, I would love it. But I don't think we will. Loya, welcome, says, also Riley, welcome. Next year is Tom Holland's 10-year MC anniversary. Wow. But No Way Home's 5th anniversary. That's crazy. Wow. So, is that right? Wait. You just totally screwed with my perception of time, Loya. Has the amount by the time Spider-Man 4 comes out, will the same amount of time have passed between Spider-Man 3 or like No Way Home and Spider-Man 4 that passed between Civil War and No Way Home? That hurts my brain because like it's true. Like you do the math, it's true. That's crazy. You absolutely just broke my brain, Loya. That is absolutely crazy. Wow. Am I doing Star Wars Celebrations here? I'm not. I'm not. I think Star Wars Celebrations is gonna be really fun. I think there's gonna be some great announcements there, but that's just a busy weekend. It's Easter weekend. So for that reason, and also just because I'm not really doing YouTube full time right now. This is a very like one-off live stream. I'll be back for San Diego Comic-Con. Like I'm gonna do a San Diego Comic-Con live stream for Marvel for Hall H for sure, 100%. But yeah, but because I have other stuff I gotta prioritize in my real life right now, I won't be doing a celebration live stream. But I will be watching I'll be watching the Star Wars live streams, but I won't be doing a live stream to cover it. A new Tobey Spider-Man movie in the style of Logan would be 1,000 times better than 2003. There's no reason to put it in the style of Logan. Like, I get why people keep saying, like, style of Logan, Tobey Maguire movie, but why? That's not who Spider-Man is, and that's not who Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is. That's not where he's at in his life either. Like, I want him to have a happy ending, not a depressing, serious ending. I want him to have a Spider-Man ending. Well, let's not say that. Spider-Man doesn't get an ending, but, you know. I don't get an ending. Did you hear this Fortnite next season is Star Wars themed? I did. I'm really excited for that. Boydie says, I have a theory if Tony Stark's death is part of Doctor Doom. What if this whole time Tony Stark's death was fake, like Tony faked his death and imagined his brother was Doctor Doom? No, I hate that. That would be terrible. Straight up. I'm not trying to, like, you know, be mean or anything, but I think that would be so bad. Supposedly Doomsday is taking place right after or alongside Spider-Man. Yeah, I think that's really interesting if true. I'm curious to see how that like plays in together. Like what is Spider-Man doing that he's not with the team at Doomsday, if that's the case? So you think the Clayface casting will be announced tomorrow since the poster was on the 2026 lineup? I hope so. I think that'd be really cool. I'm so excited for that movie. I'm so excited for the Clayface movie. It's exactly what I've wanted. I mean, I'm sure you've heard me talk about it at least once or twice, Cooper, but like a fantastical Clayface is really all I want outside of Red Hood. All I've ever wanted from Batman in live action. Crucio, do you think Tom Holland will get the symbiote suit for 4 and Doomsday and Secret Wars? No, I think maybe he gets it in Doomsday. I think he'll definitely have it in Secret Wars. I don't think he gets it in Spider-Man 4, though. To be honest, I think they should introduce Miles after Secret Wars, making him the definitive Spider-Man in the new soft rebooted MCU. I think that's too soon. I think they gotta finish Tom Holland stuff first before making Miles the definitive. It's gonna be hard to get used to Miles without Jameek Moore's voice. I disagree. Low key, okay. I'm curious if you agree. I think I know your opinion on this, Joe, but I'm curious if you agree with me. Another hot take, maybe. I kind of like the actor for the game more than not that Jameek Moore is bad as Miles at all. I obviously he's very iconic, but I kind of like the game Miles actor more. What do you think about that, Joe?
Majorly disagree.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really explain why. I also haven't fully played the Miles game. Maybe that's why. But I don't know. I kind of like game Miles. I love the movies. I love Shameik Moore as Miles. You don't get me wrong. It's not me trying to like put down Shameik Moore as Miles, but I just like, I don't know. There's just something about the way that the game Miles is acted that I like more. They both kind of have similar, not exact same style voices, but like similar voices though. I think there is sort of like a quote unquote Miles voice. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Sort of. I don't know. I definitely think that they're distinctly different from each other.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Now, I am gonna actually manually refresh again because, like I said, I haven't really. Oh, now they're just loading. Twitter might be down for me. Ha! That would be wild. If people in the chat have Twitter, check your Twitter. Let me know if it's down for you or not. What the hell are Thunderbolts gonna do to a guy named Doom? You know, I don't disagree with you, but I like the actors. So whatever they come up with, it's good for you. Your Twitter's fine. Your Twitter's up's working fine. Oh, okay. Okay, but actually fully down for you. Okay, so some people saying it's working. Some people are saying it's not working. Twitter is struggling right now. So interesting.
I'm also discussing film on other medias just to see if there's any more news popping up, but there doesn't seem to be anything there either.
Okay.
Which is good.
Behind the scenes for Anaconda is on. Anaconda is being shown. All right. Okay. Thank you guys for the update. This is quite weird. Let me try signing out of Twitter and going back and signing back in. So we're just gonna switch to this screen for a second. I'm just gonna I just want to find a chat that you can talk about while I sign in and out. You have anything you want to talk about Spider-Man related, Joe?
Sorry?
You're free running the mic right now, Joe.
Anything to talk about Spider related? Who do we think, theory-wise, dies in Beyond the Spider-Verse? Because I do think that there will be a death. I think it's unavoidable. But I'm curious if people think the same thing that I do. Gwen dies. That's a new one. That's interesting. Rio. I agree. I think it's Rio. I think it's his mom because of how much she played a part in Across the Spider-Verse. She had a lot of emotional one-on-one conversations with him, and I think they're doing that to build up the emotional suspense to kill her off in third. Peter B. Parker dies. I would be disappointed. Oh no, not if Peter B. Parker dies. Kevin Feige and Amy are on stage. Kevin Feige. Okay, yeah, Mr. Strudel, we see your comment. You do not have to spam.
Yeah. I'm seeing that comment as well. When I log, maybe it might be TweetDeck that's screwing me over right now, because I think my regular Twitter is working. I apologize about this, guys. I've never had this issue before. People who have been here for my other live streams also know I have not had this issue in the past.
I'm also not seeing anything about them being on stage.
Okay.
Again, I will keep looking at other medias just to see if anything pops up.
Okay, yeah.
But
Hollywood handle isn't working for me. Okay, yeah. So like the actual users themselves are not working for me.
okay, when I go to Hollywood handle, I do see they tweeted first behind the scenes look at Anaconda 3 minutes ago.
Okay. So my Twitter is what's down.
Jack Black and Paul Rudd introduces us to the Sony Pictures panel. That's what they tweeted. The Hollywood handle tweeted that.
Yeah. Crap. Oh! I've reached the limit for seeing posts today. Freaking X, bro. Alright, give me a second, guys.
Tom Rothman on stage?
Alright, I apologize. I didn't realize they would reach the limit so quickly. Holy crap. Did they make the limit smaller? That blows.
I think it will be Miles' dad. The lesson is that he has to learn to accept what he can't change. Miles' dad still dies at the end despite his efforts to save him, showing Miles inherits Peter's luck. Interesting. I don't know. I do think that it could be either one. I think it would be interesting that he would have to accept that lesson that you can't save everyone, because he kind of learned that in Into the Spider-Verse with Uncle Aaron. You know, that was their whole speech, that they all had to lose someone in order to, you know, accept and really embrace being Spider-Man. You know, you can't, the hardest part about the job was that you can't save everyone. So the real shock would be Peter Porker. I would shed many tears if Peter Porker was to pass away. Real Morales in the Ultimate Comics, I think. Yes, in the Ultimate Comics, his mom does pass away due to showdown with Venom, and he quits being Spider-Man for a year. Miles quits being Spider-Man for a year. Maybe Peter B dies, taking Miguel out, and Miles and Gwen start training Mayday. If you don't have an active account, yes, not John Mulaney. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is like, what if Disney has the rights to Spider-Man instead of Sony? Yeah, I've seen that's what people have been describing it as. Speaking of, what did we think about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? I haven't really had the chance to give thoughts about that. I personally adored it. I stayed up at 3 a.m. watching each episode. I absolutely loved the show. But what did you guys think? If Peter Parker dies, probably Ned or Miles would get revenge, whoever killed Peter. I hope the third film is not the end for this Miles franchise. Maybe move away from the multiverse and focus on Miles' solo adventures through animation. As much as I would like that, I think that the next focus for Miles would be the MCU live action appearance. So he shouldn't have to lose anyone else, though.
Okay, guys. So, because of the stupid limit that X has now, Twitter has now, we're only going to have one column up. I apologize that we have to do this, but we're only going to have one column up. That way we don't max out on tweets here. I don't know what I'm going to do for Comic-Con if this is an issue. Luckily, I have the second account. I apologize again about that. Very, very weird. And now where did my background music go? Why did that disappear? Oh, I don't have background music on for this thing. That makes sense. Right, because of trailers and whatnot. Okay. Sorry, guys. A lot of difficulties today. Kind of all over the place. Zoom out is too big. Well, okay, here's the thing. If I zoom out, it then becomes too small. This is what it usually looks like. You don't have to span, Looney. This is what it looks like if I zoom out. Oh wait. That's what it looks like if I zoom out. That's that's the normal size of the column. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Okay. I apologize about that, guys. I'm not paying for X, so we're gonna have to make do. Oh no, Doc Ock and Tom Holland movie so bad. I think that when they eventually get to Doc Ock in the MCU, I think it's gonna be what was her name? Octavia? I think it's gonna be
Yes.
her. I think it's gonna be her. All right, 28 years later is now being showcased. Sony's cooking for Spider-Man news? I hope so. Octavia, my beautiful queen, real. Low-key, get Catherine Hahn back. I don't care that she's Agatha. Agatha's dead. Like, have Catherine Hahn play her again. I think the final fight will be Miles versus Spot, but I think the final Spider-Verse fight will be Miles, Peter, Gwen, and Prowler Miles versus Miguel, Spider-Woman, and the other Spider people. Interesting. Director Danny Boyle on stage. So the things that really only thing for Sony seems like is behind the scenes for Anaconda, which is a Jack Black and Paul Rudd movie, and now 28 years later is on stage. Do you think Kate Bishop might be in Spider-Man 4? I did hear the rumors. That's right. I forgot about her. She was also rumored at one point. I don't, because I don't think it's street level. I think if it was a street level movie, I think it would have had slightly higher chance for her to be in it. I don't think so because it's street level. When do you think Beyond the Spider-Verse could come out? My guess is late 2027, early 2028. I think at the earliest 2028. I know that's not what any of us want to hear, but I think at the earliest it's 2028. Unfortunately. Do you have a guess, Joe?
I agree with the late 2027, early 2028.
Okay.
Guess.
Fair
or
enough.
Mid. I would say late 2027 to mid 2028.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Any news? No news yet on anything Spider-Man related. Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider coming in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Joe? I haven't seen Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man yet, so I can't give any opinion. So this is all Joe.
I genuinely would have preferred no Ghost Spider, just regular Gwen Stacy. But I can understand why they're doing Ghost Spider, because they did sort of tackle a multiversal thing-ish, slightly, without spoiling it.
There you go. Will they go back to Earth 838 in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars? I don't know. I'm actually leaning towards no, right? Oh, maybe in Secret Wars. In Doomsday, I'm actually leaning towards no because it seems like, unless this was Earth 838, it seems like the main Earths are going to be the main, MCU timeline, and then the Earth that Monica Rambeau is currently in at the end of the Marvels. Unless that was 838, which is not impossible. We didn't see it other than the basement of the X-Mansion. But I'm gonna guess no. What is the genre of the Anaconda movie? Thought horror, but it has Paul Rudd and Jack Black. Does it have a release date? I honestly don't know. I know nothing about that movie, if I'm being honest with you. No, Batman Spider-Verse is stated to come out in June 2027. They are about to announce it officially. Maybe. We shall see. I saw ages ago that they were looking at Emma Myers to play Gwen in the MCU. Is that a possibility? It's a possibility. I don't know if it was true. Those kind of rumors always come out when actors start to get big. Emma Myers is in Wednesday, and she's also in the new Minecraft movie, and she's blonde. So that's easy for a lot of people to just go, they're looking at this new up-and-coming blonde actress to play Gwen Stacy. It's not impossible, but it could also very much just be BS. Do you think it's like Ant-Man and the Wasp, where it'll take place slightly before Doomsday? That would explain Tom's absence from the Avengers cast announcement. I think, honestly, that in the ideal world, that's what it would be, because it would be the Daredevil, Kingpin, Spider-Man, and that would take place before Doomsday. But it's still possible that it could take place during Doomsday or right before Doomsday. Stay impeccable trailer. Trailer's being shown for people in attendance, which means, unfortunately, not for us as much as I do really want to see it. But I'm really excited for this movie, by the way. 28 years later. was impeccable. The trailer for 28 Years Later. Joe seems to like Spider-Man a ton. What do you think of a possibility of a live-action Spider-Gwen?
As I said, I feel like the best thing to do is just a regular Gwen Stacy, but we already have one of the best adaptations of Gwen Stacy with The Amazing Spider-Man. Honestly, I think it's best to move on from Gwen Stacy and let's focus on getting an accurate adaptation of Mary Jane now, because that's his true love interest, despite opinions. In my honest opinion, that is his true love interest. That's who he should be with. And I feel like if we were to get an accurate adaptation of Mary Jane, then people would be more compelled to agree with that.
Here you go. I wonder how Marvel's going to fulfill the Peter loses someone he cares about quote in Spider-Man 4. I wonder if they do. I could be wrong. Maybe they announce the title or story or whatever. I still think that Spider-Man 4 is gonna, in the grand scheme of things, like once we have this full second trilogy, we're gonna look at it and be like, yeah, Spider-Man 4, low-key kind of filler. So because of that, I don't know if he's really gonna lose anybody. Like, he doesn't have anyone to lose also at this point. So I don't really think that's gonna be something that comes into play in this movie. All I want in my life is Frank Castle taking on the mantle of Cosmic Ghost Rider at some point for today. That would be super dope. The Across the Spider-Verse press tour is going to be awkward as hell, and I'm here for it. Yeah. I agree. Cillian Murphy will return in 28 years later, which technically was not confirmed until now, but I think we all could have assumed. That is cool. I hope he's not dead. I don't think he is, right? Because he's in the sequel movie, which they've already filmed, I think. Who do you think Sadie Sink will play in Spider-Man 4? Heard some people say she'll play Jean Grey or Gwen Stacy because it can't be Mary Jane. It technically could be Mary Jane, just a different, like, multiverse version of Mary Jane. I'm between Mayday and Firestar right now. There won't be Doomsday news. Here, this is purely for Sony. If they're gonna have Doomsday news at Cinemacon, it's gonna be on a Wednesday during the Marvel panel. I am not doing a live stream for that. I am busy during that time. I'm not doing a live stream for that. I honestly haven't seen the post-credit scene in a while, Diego. You might be right. I don't have any knowledge of Charles being confirmed to be alive in that universe, but you could totally be right. Will Eternals be a Doomsday need to address? Maybe let Doom kill off She-Hulk in the Eternals? No, they're not going to kill off She-Hulk. Or the Eternals. They're not going to just be like, oh, people didn't like this, let's kill it off. That's not how they roll. I don't think the Eternals will be in it. I also don't think you need to address it, because the Eternals are off with Arishem. They don't have to address that at all. They really don't. No, I think Tom Holland wasn't announced because he hasn't officially put pen to paper about being in Doomsday yet, because they're still trying to figure out a schedule between Spider-Man 4 and the Odyssey. All right, Phil Lord is on stage. Oh, okay. I was wrong. Beyond the Spider-Verse releases in theaters 2027. You guys were right. I was wrong. That's pretty dope. That's sooner than I expected. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. That was really quick. On stage. Hey, 2027. Word. All right, I'm gonna jump
if they leave with that.
Dude, that'd be so funny. Yeah, no Spider-Man 4 stuff, just that.
Beyond the Spider-Verse 2027. Okay, bye.
All right, so at least one part of my thumbnail and title is not clickbait. Let's go. That's a win. I see this as an absolute win. Do you think they will have any news for Null in future movies? No. Null is so not going to be in any movies, I don't think. I don't know why they were expecting that to be such like a big draw to Venom 3, but yeah. I don't think Null's showing up. I haven't seen the first two 28 years films. Are they great? This is a hot take. So watch them for if you're a fan of zombie movies, they're technically not zombies, it's like the rage virus, but for like, they're zombies. if you're a fan of zombie movies, check them out. They might be for you. They're not for me. I don't love the filmmaking with it. I didn't really enjoy them all that much, but people love those movies. So, if you're a fan of zombie films, then check it out. Have you gone to play or look into any Marvel Rivals lore, or have you just not worried about it? Oh, I worried about it. I love Marvel Rivals. Okay, we'll get to Marvel Rivals in a second. Phil Lord says Beyond the Spider-Verse is bigger than the past 2 films. Well, duh. Also states the film starts right where the last film ended. Duh. Describes as massive film. A massive finale. Alright, like... Other words, water. Wet. But Marvel Rivals, love Marvel Rivals. I am Grandmaster 1. I'm very close to Celestial. I really want to get to Celestial by next season, which is next week. I have 5 Lords. I love Marvel Rivals. Now, I'm not as invested in the lore, if I'm being honest. I just love the game. I just love the gameplay and the game so much. I play that so much. First look at Beyond the Spider-Verse is now being showcased for attendees. Okay, so 2 things. 1, this footage obviously is going to leak. We're not going to watch the leak on the stream because that could get my channel into serious trouble. We don't want that. 2, however, they're probably going to tweet describing the footage. So at least we'll have that. Chris Evans as Silver Surfer and Doomsday would be pretty wild. That would be pretty wild and not going to happen, I would guess. However, now I don't really believe this rumor. Just take this with a grain of salt, but there was a rumor that came out the past day or 2 that Chris Evans is in Fantastic Four First Steps in an unannounced role. I don't know. Like, that's all I'm going to say. Like, I don't even want to be like, is he coming back as Human Torch? Because he just came back as Human Torch. But, like, it's a Fantastic Four movie, so why, if he's in it, why wouldn't he be in as Human Torch, you know? But I also don't fully believe that rumor. Spider-Man 4 should definitely feature Peter going through therapy. Lord knows he needs it. I mean, hey, we just happened to be introduced to a therapist that is interested in vigilantes, that has a tie with Daredevil. How have I not made this connection before? So perfect! And they're not going to do it. Because Sony. But like that, oh my gosh, that's another thing though. Like, because you're right, he does need therapy. Like, oh my gosh. It's so perfect. June 4th, 2027. New release date.
Ooh.
Seems like you were right. Or the person in the chat was right. June 4th, 2027. If it releases in 2027, could this mean they could be part of Doomsday? It could mean... Well, no, this is after Secret Wars, yeah? Yeah. Don't think so. Because this is after Secret Wars. So maybe they're in Secret Wars, but if it picks up right after we're left off, like, I don't think so. Crazy there's going to be a 4-year gap between Across and Beyond the Spider-Verse Incredible Films. Yeah, that is crazy. Crazy going to be a 5-year gap between No Way Home and Spider-Man 4. The same amount of time between Civil War and No Way Home, same gap. First look at Beyond the Spider-Verse in theaters June 4, 2027. Prowler Miles. Or is it? Is it our Miles in the Prowler suit? We don't know.
Whatever it is, it makes me so happy I could cry right now.
Stuff to make a grown man cry. Beautiful. Let's hope they actually stick to it this time. Because last week was supposed to be the 1-year anniversary of Beyond the Spider-Verse. So, there's that. It's taken Spider-Verse as long as the Batman to get finished, yeah. But I mean, also, look how peak the Batman is. So if we're doing that analogy, Beyond the Spider-Verse is gonna be pretty freaking peak, hopefully. Do you think Taskmaster is dead in Thunderbolts? Because if she's not in Doomsday, she's probably dead in Thunderbolts. Oh, she's so dead in Thunderbolts. She's in none of the marketing. None of the trailers, none of the marketing. So dead. So dead.
She's also not in the confirmed cast list for Doomsday, right?
Right, exactly. Someone says Darren Aronofsky's on stage. Okay. Alright, let's hope that my Twitter feed has not maxed out. I think that's the actual Prowler because Armor Miles has an upgraded suit compared to that spider suit. Oh no, it most likely is the Prowler Miles. I'm just saying, like, they do look alike. It's not impossible that they switch suits some point in the movie. But no, that's almost definitely Prowler Miles. Beyond the Spider-Verse taking place after Secret Wars makes no sense. How? They're separate universes. You could be saying, well, because Multiverse doesn't exist after Secret Wars. In the comics, sure. Movies might not be the same thing. There's almost definitely still going to be a quote-unquote multiverse after Secret Wars because there's going to be more seasons of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and X-Men 97 after Secret Wars. So, first look at Miles Morales and Beyond Spider-Verse. Let's see, what are those? Can we make out anything? Are those blue and red things anything? Or is just like... Also, is this not just the poster for Across the Spider-Verse without anyone else? Or am I crazy?
I mean, his suit is ripped, so it's obvious that is at the end of Across the Spider-Verse because that's exactly what he was wearing.
Okay, all right.
In that scene when he's like chained up.
Oh, here's more. Okay. Oh, sorry. I should be sharing this screen for you.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so there's this Miles picture. Gwen and Miles. Ooh. Interesting world they're on there. Like a 2D looking like paper world. Or universe, I should say. And is that London? This looks like it's London. Big Ben, right? And then... okay, so this is probably that scene. I'm guessing this is early in the movie, you know? Probably fight like right away. Cool.
Oh, maybe not, because look at what Miles is wearing. Look at his shoes.
Did he not have those shoes?
He did not. Because he wasn't walking around like the Spider Society with those shoes. He had his spider outfit. He actually has shoes on this time, and maybe pants.
Second pick is Spider-Punk. This is Spider-Punk's world? Okay. I'm being completely straight up. I've only seen Across the Spider-Verse once when it came out. I haven't seen it since.
Oh, that is
I've been meaning to.
Spider-Punk's world. Now that you point that out.
Okay. Cool. This looks a lot different than... Was it Earth 42?
Yeah.
The wherever he ended up with, Miles Prowler world. This looks a lot different.
They did say that they were using some innovative new techniques with the animation.
Okay. Interesting. Was there another picture here, or... No, okay, it was just those three. Okay, interesting. Cool. First trailer for Caught Stealing is now being showcased. Matt Smith and Austin Butler. Neat. June 4th, 2027. Secret Wars, Beyond the Spider-Verse, The Batman 2. Is Batman 2 still 27, or did that get pushed to 2028? I actually forgot. It keeps getting delayed, my baby.
My Shayla.
For real. Okay, it's still 2027, it looks like. Good year. Morbid Studios one more time. We have a trailer leaks? For real. I know we're all going to be watching that after the stream. We'll be looking up trailer leaks, for sure. Miles vs. Prowler. Word. I find it funny how much they're hyping up Bob/Sentry and Thunderbolts, yet Doom's probably going to wreck him like he's immortal. Well, okay. I did see a theory about Bob/Sentry in Doomsday, which is pretty hype. People were saying that Sentry is Doom takes Sentry's power, and that's how he's able to create Battleworld partially. It's a combination of Loki and Sentry, because Sentry, I don't fully know Sentry's power, but he can just he's just OP. So he putting them together is what makes Doom God Doom, maybe. Yeah, Sentry and Doom, the Beyonder, kind of like that. That's a theory I saw, which I think is possible. Zach Krager now on stage to showcase a Resident Evil film. Pretty cool. Okay, so by the fact that how fast they're going with all this, a title for Spider-Man 4, maybe one cast member at most, it feels like. Which is fine. That's kind of all what we were expecting, but that's kind of what it seems like is happening. Snow Molecule Man? No, I don't think they're going to introduce a new character in this just to kill him off again. Or, just do that. I don't think they're introducing Molecule Man. I think they're going to give someone else Molecule Man's job. Or role, I should say. The first film was almost going to be a decade old when Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out. I know. That is crazy. Spider-Man Noir live action won't be here because this is just purely for movies. And Noir, while I'm really excited is just gonna be a show. So Spider-Man isn't gonna give Malcolm Man the cheeseburger. Probably not. Probably not. Doom is playing the X-Men against the Avengers and uses it as a cover to take the power of Loki and Sentry, and probably by the end, or maybe even like midway through, we get to Battleworld. I think by the end, it could be. I mean, it could be midway through. That's not a terrible idea. I did see this theory as well, the God of Epic, that like you have to kill the anchor being for a world to be destroyed. I think that's a very interesting theory as well. And yeah, that could be the replacement for Malcolm X. I think I'm not fully familiar with the comics of Secret Wars, but I think in the comics, like to destroy the world, you need to kill their Molecule Man. So I saw a theory that was like, instead of having to kill their Molecule Man, kill their anchor being. You don't think they'll announce who Sadie Sink is playing or others actually in the movie? I don't. I honestly don't. They could make Franklin Richards the Molecule Man. They could also make him sort of Beyonder E. I think it's interesting that they probably are introducing Franklin Richards. I want to see how they factor him into the whole story. Because obviously we've never had Franklin Richards adapted into live action, and he's a very powerful character. So I'm very curious to see what they do with him. I believe the Avengers vs. X-Men is a known incursion in the comics leading to Secret Wars. I believe it is. Do you know anything about that, Joe?
I know nothing about that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't either. Do you think Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 announcement? I think there will be a title reveal. I think that's about it. How do you think RDJ playing both Iron Man and Doom in Doomsday would work? Very simply, I think he just plays both. To be honest, I think he's good enough actor to differentiate. To differentiate them too. They're very different characters, so I think it wouldn't be too difficult to differentiate them. I think it's as simple as that, and I think it happens. Some people are like, he's definitely not coming back as Iron Man. I think it's the exact opposite. You have him on set already. This is like the big culmination of like Marvel films for the past 20 years. You gotta have him, I think. You gotta have him. Someone says, discussing film, put Spider-Verse footage description. Okay, let me see if I can change this. Oh, I just read this real quick. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. First trailer for Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey is now being showcased for attendees, starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. Very cool. All right, let me remove that. Add column, user, discussing film. I'm assuming it's that one. Oh, I need to zoom out for a second to add the column. Zoom back in. Okay. Zach Krieger says his Resident Evil film will focus on one central protagonist going on a point A to B journey, slowly falling more into hellish territory. Sounds like Resident Evil. First trailer for Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing reveals Austin Butler looking after an insane mohawk wearing Matt Smith's apartment until a number of crime families come looking for Smith's character. Interesting. I didn't realize that was Darren Aronofsky. First footage from Beyond the Spider-Verse reveals Miles and Gwen reuniting, plus Miles fighting the Prowler before going on an adventure with him. All right, that interesting to know. We could have guessed that, but good to know. The animation style has some innovative new techniques too. Interesting. All right, I don't want to scroll down too much because I don't want to see too many new tweets and then be locked out. Let me add another column. Go back to Hollywood Handle. Scroll out. Scroll back. All right. How excited am I for James Marsden? So excited. So excited. I really, really hope he gets to I really, really hope that he gets at least one scene where he gets to actually be Cyclops. Like he just I would love like if he has multiple moments throughout both Doomsday and Secret Wars where he gets to be Cyclops. You know, I know he's gonna be Cyclops, but like has an actual like Cyclops moment and is written so well. But I just want at least one moment where he like gives the X-Men a speech, shuts down Wolverine, and says to me my X-Men. Like please, and I will bring tissues for cleanup. And it won't be tears, if you know what I'm saying. Pause. It's goat time. Okay, so this is a movie I believe produced by Steph Curry about a goat who plays basketball. I think Namor and Magneto will be on Doom's team, but Doom will kill them both. Interesting. Not impossible. Well, there are rumors that Peter was the anchor being for the main MCU timeline, so I wonder if he's the real MacGuffin in the movie instead of Loki or Sentry. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be the MacGuffin. I think the MacGuffin is Loki. I think Sentry's going to play a part of it, but I think MacGuffin. I very much subscribe to the theory that Doom wants Loki's power, and I think now that we know Sentry's in it, I think Sentry's going to be a part of that somehow. We can pretty much confirm that any symbiote storyline in the MCU will have no connection to Tom Hardy's based on his comments today, yeah? I hope so. I guess it's not 100% confirmed, but that's my hope. Sony being out of order. I feel like they're like, all right, throw a Spider-Man thing in there, like halfway through. Or like a third of the way through, just so people stick around and are interested. You think DC's going to show something crazy? I don't. I think we get another Superman trailer. I think that's about it. Maybe the people in attendance get the first look at Supergirl. But other than that, I think it's really just a new Superman trailer. At most. And Namor definitely not on Doom's team. Him and Black Panther were together in Secret Wars. Fair enough. Was not aware. Could the Maker appear in Doomsday and Secret Wars played by Miles Teller? It's possible. I know I would love to see that. I think, though, honestly, at this point, if the Maker shows up anywhere, I think it's more likely to be Ian Gruffin than Miles Teller. I know Miles Teller and that Fantastic Four was loosely based and inspired by the Ultimate Fantastic Four, but I just don't think Miles Teller comes back. Like, straight up with you. I don't think Miles Teller comes back. What's the term MacGuffin? MacGuffin pretty much means the object, thing, or person that the movie's after. So, for example, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the MacGuffin in the movie is a Lost Ark. Or, I'm trying to think of other examples off the top of my head. The MacGuffin is just like an object that the characters are after, that they're chasing. So, in this example, Doom would be going to... The MacGuffin would be Loki because Doom's going to get Loki and maybe the heroes are going to stop him. The goal kind of different than the goal, but it in some cases it could be the goal. Yes, Infinity Stones, obviously. Duh. Thank you guys. Yeah, the Infinity Stones would be MacGuffins. There would just be multiple MacGuffins. But yeah, for sure. The Infinity Stones would be MacGuffins. Maybe the people in attendance would get the first look at Lobo. I don't think we would get the first look at Lobo. Goat has a very similar animation style to Spider-Verse. Goat character design is something. It is something for sure. I mean, it is a Goat character design. Do you think Spider-Man 4 will be just as good or surpass No Way Home with all the news so far? I really hope it's street level. I don't think it'll be just as good. I think it'll be good. I think Spider-Man 4 will be a good movie. There's a lot of talented people behind it. I think it's going to be a good movie. I think it's just going to be a good movie. I think it's okay for there to be movies that are just good. I think there should be movies out there that are just good. I know you disagree with me on this, Joe, and that's totally okay. I think Brave New World was just a good movie, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. The movies can't be great without movies being good. However, Spider-Man is a character that, and you could argue Sam Wilson as well, Captain America is a character that deserves great movies, not good movies. And I fully agree with that. But Spider-Man is Spider-Man. He's not my favorite, but he's a lot of people's favorite. He's Spider-Man for a reason. His movies can't just be good. I also hope it's street level. I don't think it's going to be. But I do think it's just going to be good. How will they handle the Kang storyline without Jonathan Majors? I think it's as simple as they either don't address it, they just address it in a line, or we see Doom kill Kang, but we don't see Kang's face. I think it's one of those scenarios, I should say. Are we still getting a Spider-Man 4 update? Possibly. It's possible. The panel's not over yet. All right, my thing isn't updated. Oh, never mind. Let's go! I love Chainsaw Man. First poster for Chainsaw Man movie in theaters on October 29th. October 29th, let's go! Yeah. Big Chainsaw Man fan. Oh, wait! I just remembered. Sony's the one distributing the Demon Slayer movie. Oh, give us a trailer, please. Give us a trailer, please. Joe's staying silent because he doesn't like Chainsaw Man. But Chainsaw Man's so good. Oh, you're seeing my bookmarks bar as well.
I'm also managing the chat.
Oh, no, you're seeing the bookmark bar. The stream is not. Never mind. Well, yes. I appreciate you handling the chat. But yes, Chainsaw Man movie in theaters October 29th. Let's go. That's awesome. Just so I missed anything, the release date for Beyond the Spider-Verse is June 7th. June 4th, 2027?
June.
Scrolling down.
I don't know why. I thought it was
June 4th, 2027. June 4th, 2027.
June 4th.
And then some other stuff about other movies, but Marvel related. Pretty much just that for Spider-Verse. Yeah, Chainsaw Man movie. What is Chainsaw Man? Chainsaw Man is an anime adapting the manga called Chainsaw Man. It's hard to describe. Like a lot of anime, it's kind of hard to describe. He's a man that has the chainsaw demon spirit in him, which gives him chainsaw powers. It's really good. A little freaky, but it's really good. Never was a big fan of anime or stuff like that. Any recommendations? Yes, I do, because I was not either. I was very much against anime until about a year and a half ago. My first anime was Demon Slayer. Still my favorite anime, maybe because it's my favorite. I love Demon Slayer. Highly recommend Demon Slayer. My second anime, Attack on Titan. If you want to see arguably the best writing I have ever seen, it's Attack on Titan. So I would say, once I'm done, Joe, definitely give your opinion. I would say your first anime should either be Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan. Demon Slayer is a very simple anime to get into, so that might be a good one to start off. Attack on Titan is arguably the best. It's my second favorite, but it's arguably the best. So Attack on Titan would also not be a bad choice. I also recommend Chainsaw Man, but that should not be your first. Chainsaw Man, beautifully animated, easily, in my opinion, the best cinematography and shot composition in any, not only anime, but any animation I have ever seen. I absolutely love the cinematography and lighting and composition of Chainsaw Man, but it should not be your first, but it's quite good. What other ones have I watched? I'm about a season and a half into My Hero Academia. I'm really liking it. Oh, and Jujutsu Kaisen. I like Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not as strong on it as most people are. I think it's fine. I don't love it. But it's a good one. It's the most popular anime in the world right now, so that was a solid one to watch. But for me, I would recommend starting with either Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan. What are your thoughts or recommendations, Joe?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Someone just asking about anime, because they haven't gotten into it. They said any recommendations.
For a first anime, I mean, I'm probably a bad person to ask because my first anime was an anime called Akame ga Kill, and it was really brutal and really something that I shouldn't have watched, but you know, I found a love of anime from that, so honestly, why not?
Fair enough. Joe also loves Solo Leveling. Someone just told me to watch Solo Leveling. Joe's a big Solo Leveling fan.
I have been trying to get him on Solo Leveling. I've read
it's on my list. It is on my list. So I'm just not like, I like the anime that I like. I really like. But I'm still not a huge like anime guy. But it is on my list to watch eventually. So is Vinland Saga. I think I'm gonna love Vinland Saga.
Oh, you'll definitely love Vinland Saga.
I'm so excited for Vinland Saga to get around to watching that. But anyway, first look at I Know She Last Summer is now being showcased. That's the poster without any text on it. I have not seen those movies. Maybe some people in here have. I have not. People are also saying probably going to save Spider-Man 4 for last. I could see that being the case. That's not impossible. Looks generic in regards to I Know She Last Summer. Fair enough. People are saying Full Metal Alchemist. I have not seen that, but I've heard good things about it. Someone said One Punch Man or any Ghibli movie is a good starter. Would you count Ghibli movies as anime?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Closest to anime you'll get is Invincible. Invincible's peak. Like, I'm sorry, Invincible is the best superhero show I've ever seen. At this point, and we're only apparently a third of the way through the story. And it's my favorite superhero show I've ever seen. And like, I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly at all. I love The Boys. I love Daredevil. I love Punisher. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But after season 3 of Invincible, not Daredevil. Daredevil's like number 2 or 3 for me. No. Daredevil's top 5 for me. But Invincible was below Daredevil before season 3 of Invincible. Season 3 of Invincible, it's just so good. It has everything that I like in it. It has romance. It has my best philosophical debates of comic books in there. The kill or not kill. That is my favorite philosophical debate in comic books, and it has literally everything that I want for my superhero content. Whereas like Daredevil, fantastic, has that debate, not huge on the romance side of things, and that's okay. He doesn't need it. But same with The Boys. Like The Boys has some things too, but it's so good, but it's not Invincible. I love Invincible so much. The Penguin is also up there, dude. The Penguin is so good, but it's not my favorite. Silent Voice, I've not heard of that. Have you heard of Silent Voice, Joe?
Oh my goodness, I love A Silent Voice. It's pretty sad though.
Oh,
it's not sad. It's an emotional.
okay.
It's an emotional movie. It's so good though.
Fair enough. I don't love sad stuff though. Is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. worth it? I think so. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1 is solid. Season 2 is my least favorite. And then Season 3, 4, and 5 of S.H.I.E.L.D. are some of my favorite seasons of television I've ever seen. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has my favorite TV characters I've ever seen, Fitz and Simmons. If you've seen S.H.I.E.L.D., you know why. They are easily, for me, the best TV characters, my favorite TV characters. Season 6, I think it's 7. Season 6 and 7, pretty good. Season 6 is pretty good. Season 7, I think, is right above Season 2. Not as good as Season 1. But Season 6 is right after Season 5. But yeah, I would say it's very much worth it. I really love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not for everybody, but I really enjoy it. Are you sure? Daredevil Season 3 is better than Invincible Season 3 in your opinion? Invincible Season 3 is really peak, though. No, that's fair. That is so fair. Daredevil Season 3, I mean the whole show, all of Daredevil, but Daredevil Season 3 is so peak. We rewatched all of Daredevil for Daredevil Born Again, and I said this to Joe while we were watching. I was like, when I first watched this, I don't think I appreciated it as much as I am now. Like being, how much older I am than I was when it first came out. I appreciate that show so much more. It's so good. Season 3 of Daredevil is so peak. But I don't know, man. There's just something about Invincible that puts it above. Hey, Kamaro6460. Thank you so much for Super Chat, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Says, good to hear from you guys again. Pretty excited for the future of MCU and DCU. Me too, man. I'm so excited. I think the future of both sound really exciting. And I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. Thank you so much for the Super Chat, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Refresh. It refreshes on its own. It's time for a new Karate Kid Legends trailer showcase. Nice. Where's Omni-Man? Where is he? Sea salt. If you don't see Invincible, you think I'm crazy right now saying that stuff. But you get it if you've seen Invincible. Anyway, you're loving Born Again so far. I'd love to see Daredevil and Spider-Man, but I'm content with him not in it. Yeah, dude, I'm loving Born Again. This is a hot take. I'm full of hot takes. If you've been on my channel, you know I'm full of hot takes. Here's my hot take. Daredevil Born Again. This part's not a hot take, I don't think. Better than Season 2 of Daredevil. On par with Season 1. Not better than Season 3. However, this is the hot take. And I firmly believe this, especially after rewatching the Netflix show. The fight choreography in Born Again better than the Netflix show. Season 1 of Born Again is not better than Season 3, but the choreography, I think, is better. And I stand by that. Choreography is not bad. Don't get me wrong. Choreography is not bad in the Netflix show, but I like it better. Hot take. I know. I understand it's a hot take. Duolingo with Super Chat. Thank you so much saying, are you sure? I'm pretty sure. I understand it's a hot take. Jay Kazan will return to direct Jumanji 3. Nice. I like those movies. I'm excited for Jumanji 3. Is Doom God Emperor? I think he's going to be by the end of Doomsday and in Brave New World for sure. New look at 28 years later. So that is confirmed not Cillian Murphy. A lot of people, including myself, thought that was going to be Cillian Murphy. It's not Cillian Murphy. Looks solid. I'm excited for it. Okay, I have heard that Discussing Film is showcasing a lot more in-depth stuff. Let me put that on here. My one fear is just that I'm going to see too many tweets before the Spider-Man 4 stuff, and we're going to be screwed because this is my only other Twitter account that we could use. So, Jay Kazan will return to direct Jumanji 3 in theaters December 11th. Oh, that's next year. Oh, that's right. That was on the next year slate. Nice. I'm excited for that. Godzilla Minus One director Takashi Yamazaki is moving forward with his first English language film, Grand Gear, at Sony. JJ producing. Cool. First footage for I Know What You Did Last Summer reveals Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character returning in a town hall meeting about another summer serial killer's murders. Word. Come back as Fred, please. Anyway. Koganada's A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey follows Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell as strangers journeying together through a red door that takes them through their memories. Ooh, that's up my alley. That sounds cool. All right. Scroll back up, not to get too many tweets on our feed. Read that Jack Black said he won't be in Jumanji. Oh, really? Oh, that is a big hit. That's a big hit to the movie. Jumanji 5, if you count Zathura, which I do. Zathura, underrated, not talked about, pretty good movie. Doom or Galactus? Agreed. It depends who's writing it. Doom, but like, with all those, Spider-Man 4 title announcements, Spider-Man Away From Home, that'd be terrible. I'm not someone who's like good or bad on titles. I would not like that title. Thunderbolt's post-credit scene ties into Doomsday. So could Doom possibly kill Taskmaster in the post-credits? I don't think so. It would explain her absence from Doomsday if she doesn't die in the actual film. I mean, that would explain her disappearance if she's not in the actual film. Or if she doesn't die in the actual film, I think she does die in the actual film, though, for sure. I think Cedric kills her. I agree. I don't want another home title for Spider-Man 4. The Minecraft movie is getting good reactions. Look, I want to see it. I don't think it's going to be like the best thing in the world, but I want to see it. I also saw, and this for me is enough to go see it, is there is a Easter egg of Technoblade. And I'm not someone who like watches Technoblade or is in any of that like Dream SMP fandom. I'm so not, but like there's a pig in the movie with a crown, like Technoblade's crown, and I think that's very, very good taste. I'm very happy they did that, and that's enough for me to see it. Jetwolf90, thanks for tuning in, man. Thank you for the super chat as well. Fighter super chat. It says, well, I'm liking Born Again. Give me DC Legends of Tomorrow as your personal favorite. Fair enough. I like when your superhero show gets weird. No, that's totally valid. I watched, I think, 4 seasons of Legends of Tomorrow. And that's when I kind of stopped watching the Arrowverse after Arrow ended. I watched all of Arrow. I love Arrow. I watched up until halfway of season 5 of Flash, and I just gave up on it. Seasons 1 to 3 were really good, and then it wasn't. And I watched 4 seasons of Legends Tomorrow, I think. I actually really liked all of it. I only stopped watching Legends because I stopped watching the Arrowverse. I watched 1.5 seasons of Supergirl. It was really bad. Didn't watch Black Lightning. But I am like halfway through season 2 of Superman and Lois, which I still gotta finish. But Superman and Lois is genuinely great. I would highly recommend that show if you are a Superman fan, if you like those kind of shows. It is a very good movie that I recommend. I wish that Zathura didn't take out the direct Jumanji connections that were in the book, but I didn't realize there were actual connections. I was joking. I didn't realize it was an actual like One, I didn't realize it was a book first, and then I didn't realize it was connected to it in the book. Do we get the Thanos skeleton scene in Doomsday? I want it so badly. I work it into like every conversation I have about Doomsday that I want to see that scene where Thanos rips out Thanos' skeleton. I genuinely want that. And like, if you think about it, it makes sense because Thanos was the previous big bad. If you want to quickly show that Doom is a threat, show Doom killing the previous big bad, you know? Makes sense. Season 5 of Arrow is the equivalent to Season 3 of Daredevil. I think Season 3 of Daredevil is better than Season 5 of Arrow. However, I agree that Season 5 of Arrow is the equivalent season of Arrow. Like, like the fact that the way that Daredevil Season 3 is peak for the Daredevil show is the same way that Season 5 of Arrow is peak for Arrow. I agree. Hear me out. The Spectacular Spider-Man, they could either follow it up with numbers or use a different pre-title for each one. I don't disagree with that. I'd be down for that. Joe disagrees, but that's fine. First movie poster for Chainsaw Man movie. We saw that already. Pretty cool. Can you go back to Hollywood? I think I'm going to stay with Disgusting Film because they're also like tweeting it and they're tweeting more in-depth stuff. I don't want to keep going back and forth because that'll max out the amount of tweets I can see faster. And we still have like 30 minutes of the panel. So I'm really going to try to not max out my Twitter if I can, because then we're kind of screwed. I genuinely don't know what we would do if that happens. Can Daredevil appear in Secret Wars? He totally can. I think he's going to. I don't think he's in Doomsday, but I think he's in Secret Wars. Superman and Lois is the single best modern depiction of Superman so far. It really takes a lot from the Rebirth run. I agree. I think it's definitely the best. I also really like the animated show My Adventures with Superman, which I still got to finish. I think that's really great as well. Superman and Lois, and this isn't me trying to like put down Man of Steel. It's not a bad movie, but Superman and Lois, and this is kind of how I pitch it to people, does what Man of Steel wanted to do. Superman and Lois is what Man of Steel wanted to be. It modernizes Superman without changing the character, without giving up without compromising Superman as a character. I enjoy the movie. I enjoy Henry Cavill's Superman. Superman and Lois is what Man of Steel should have been, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on the Ghost Stories dub? I haven't watched it, but I've seen little clips. I know what you're talking about. I think it's quite hilarious. What's your opinion on Batman Cape Crusader? I have not watched it, but I heard it's pretty solid. I love DC. Like, if we're talking just straight comics, straight characters, I like DC more. Red Hood is my favorite comic character ever. Second, my favorite comic character ever is Aquaman. Like, I love DC. I don't dislike Batman. I don't love Batman, though. I don't love the big three. I like them, and I've liked them more recently with more modern adaptations, like Superman and Lois and My Adventures of Superman have made me like Superman more than I ever have. The Batman, the Pattinson movie, and the Arkham games. I love the Arkham games since I was a little kid. But like outside of the Arkham games, the Batman has made me like Batman more than I ever have. Tom Holland's Spider-Man has made me like Spider-Man more than I ever have. But they're still not really near the top of my list. So I'm not like super interested in Cape Crusader, but it looked solid. I've heard good things. In the most heterosexual way possible, James Marsden is hot. Hey, no, fair enough. I agree. Have you seen the trailer for Marvel Cosmic Invasion? I have. I think it's cool that they're making that kind of game. That's not the kind of game I really play. But I think it's cool that they're making it. Do you have any thoughts, Joe, on Cosmic Invasion?
Yeah, I also agree that I think it's a really, really awesome game that I think takes us back to like the original Marvel games. I've seen a lot of like first appearance of Spider-Man in video games videos, and a lot of the times I see those types of games. So it's really nice that they're bringing that style of game back and they're really modernizing it. But it's also not a game that I was ever really interested in or played that much.
Also, could you do me a favor, Joe? And once you see that a tweet has been like, it's been 5 minutes since a tweet or something, can you just check on your end if there's been another one, just so we can know if my Twitter has maxed out or not?
Of course.
Thank you, thank you. I can see the Russo brothers use a lot of characters for Doomsday and have a smaller group of characters for Secret Wars, like Daredevil could have a role like Hawkeye in Endgame. I think that Doomsday is primarily characters from the MCU and like the Fox X-Men. I think Secret Wars I agree. I think I think at least for the first half of it, it's a smaller team, but the team consists of like the most popular fan favorite characters from the year. So, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, maybe even Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Chris Evans, Captain America, Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, just for a fun one. I think it's a smaller team of like, I mean, not the Mount Rushmore, but also everyone's Mount Rushmore is different. But, you know, something like that. And then the second half of the movie, the third act of the movie is probably, for Secret Wars we're talking about, probably every single actor and character they could get is the third act. Like, I genuinely think that's it. Just, they'll be like, hey, you want to be in it in the third act? Word. You want to be in it? You want to be? And, like, anyone and everyone they could get, I think, is going to be the Secret Wars third act.
Oh.
Yes.
The Hollywood Handle did say that the Spider-Man 4 director is here.
Okay. So let's switch over to that then, because that's what we're here for. All right. Thank you, Joe.
Of course.
Oh, they did Morbid time in Karate Kid Legends. Line from the Karate Kid's Legend trailer. Let's make a Karate Kid. Man, I love when Jackie Chan looks at the camera and says, let's make a Karate Kid. What are you, some kind of Suicide Squad? All right. Let's hope it doesn't max out. Oh. You're missing one female character for your Secret Wars lineup. Choose one that is not Captain Carter. I know that's your first choice. It would be my first choice for sure. Who would it be? Who's like the most iconic female superhero character of the live action stuff? Would it like arguably Halle Berry Storm? I was thinking, yeah, Jean Grey or Halle Berry Storm. Wanda's not a bad choice. Yeah, I love Wanda too. Could be Wanda. Amelia, saw a leak a while back about Star Wars in this movie. I wonder if it's real. There's been a rumor about almost like so many characters. Star-Lord, Shang-Chi, Kate Bishop, Daredevil, Hulk, Punisher. Like, there have been so many rumored MCU characters for this movie. I don't think it'd be Gamora. Black Widow, maybe Black Widow, but like every time, like I think of Black Widow on the team, and I'm like, she kicks. She shoots guns and kicks. Say it's fantastic. Say that again. They don't mention. Don't you see? Don't you even tease. Don't you even tease. Don't even say that. Don't even say that. I love that chat, Joe. That's so good. Time is it Con? Con is right now. Con is right now. Gotta hope that my Twitter doesn't max out, so we see the tweets. Hope we get a little more than title reveal. I do too. I hope so too. There's still more of the panel. I don't know Cinemacon, so, but I'm thinking like, shouldn't they end with a bang? Maybe not, unless like we're getting 20 minutes of Spider-Man 4 stuff. But I don't think that's gonna be the case. It's like a Karate Kid. Apparently, Will Smith's Deadshot is in this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Exactly. At least a big bad reveal, maybe. Maybe we just hear, like, this X actor's been cast, but maybe it doesn't say who the character is. Cinemacon said, I'm not sure if I should be proud of this, but my 1-year-old son's first word was Spider-Man. That's cute. Probably not true, but that's cute. I like the director. That's not me trying to shit on the director. I like the director a lot. He directed Shang-Chi. I think he's also one of the directors for Wonder Man, which I think is going to be really good. I think Wonder Man's going to be a sleeper hit. Tom Holland's on video for attendees. My goat.
Aw.
My goat.
That's so sweet of him.
Panel ends with Spider-Man 4. You think?
Oh.
Oh, what?
I just sent something very exclusive to you in DMs.
No. No.
That is the verified
Yes.
account. That is the verified account.
Okay. Okay. Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Good title. July 31st, 2026. All right. We got anything else, though? All right. All right. See, that title's too good. You know? Now I'm like,
Right.
don't tease me with a good title that's... Okay. Joe, for all of us that are not in the know, explain what the Brand New Day comic is.
Oh, man.
It's not going to be this,
Hijack,
probably, but, like...
Hijack, give us a summary. I feel like Hijack can word it as best as possible.
This logo's fire. Like, that Spider-Man font is Spider-Man font. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, that Spider-Man font's fire. I see that, I think Spider-Man. All right, let's get more, though. Like, let's get some cast stuff. You know what I'm saying? Give me freaking Firestar and Iceman, please. I know I said I don't want any X-Men characters as secondary characters. Those are the two exceptions because of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That logo does give Ultimate Spider-Man vibes.
Like Scott Johnson Spider-Man vibes.
Like, oh. It's good. It's a good logo. It's a good title. Good logo, good title. Brand New Day. All right. Are we going to get... Is day going to be our new... Is going to be our new word? White Tiger, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. That'd be dope, dude. I would love it. I would love it. Any concept art? So far, still nothing. So far, this is just it. Give us more. Temper your expectations, guys. This is all we were expecting. Anything more than this is more than we were expecting. I'm glad we at least got this. Tom Roth is up again to wrap it up. Okay. Okay. You just said earlier, would they go with Day as the next title theme? They could. They really could. Brand New Day, we're getting Mayday? Maybe. I don't know. Like, Brand New Day makes me think it's not Spider Island, it's not Multiverse. It also makes you think it's not that really stupid Punisher and Spider-Man against Hulk, which is good. Is it Spider-Man Amazing? It's definitely not. It's definitely not Venom and versus Nolan, which is great. Thank you. But it's also probably not Daredevil and Kingpin, which is fine. Like, but it's not impossible. Okay, I know someone said it might be the Daredevil team up. Like, it doesn't confirm it's not, but just filming wise with Spider-Man 4 and Daredevil Born Again happen at the same time. And not in the same space. Spider-Man 4 is filming in London. Daredevil Born Again is filming in New York. So I don't think they're gonna be in it, but okay. Interesting. Sam Mendes, the Beatles now being showcased wrap up tonight's panel. Oh, cool. Paul Mescal's in that. And Joseph Quinn, I think. We're cooked. This will lead to a movie called One More Day. We're cooked. Oof.
Oh no.
Oof. Don't even put that out there. Don't even accidentally manifest that.
If this is Brand New Day, then that means One More Day has already happened, which means that No Way Home would have been the events of One More Day.
There you go. Brand New Day after Doomsday maybe takes place at the same time. Could be. Guys, could it be One More Day, but they didn't want to make it obvious? I'll let you answer that, Joe. Oh, you're checking the DMs. Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. The next gimmick is Day. Spider-Man 6 will be called Brand New Day. It was just called Brand New Day, though. The new one's just called Brand New Day. No more days. No day home. I like Brand New Day, though. I hope we get focused on Peter's character along with Spider-Man stuff. I agree. Spider-Man Final Days? Maybe. I could see that. I was thinking that was my first thought, too, for Spider-Man 6, which is all Brand New Day. Spider-Man Final Day? Final Days? The chances that villain is Mephisto just went up a little bit. I mean, we better get anything Spider-Man 4. That's as much as we were expecting for Spider-Man 4. So, that's fine. Okay. Go ahead, Hijack. No, go ahead.
Hijack says the plot essentially was right after the whole Mary Jane marriage Mephisto stuff. Essentially, Peter sold his marriage to Mephisto, and him and Mary Jane were never married in the comics. This effectively wipes Spider-Man's identity away from 616, which is the comic book universe, similar to No Way Home. From this, he goes back to basics after growing up for the last couple of decades, which brought in a new ensemble cast. The main villain is a female goblin named Menace.
Interesting.
Sadie Sink?
Especially, no, I don't think Sadie Sink. Sadie Sink is one of the new cast members, maybe. Like, one of the new supporting cast, but there was that rumor of a female villain. Yeah, there was a reported female villain. Interesting. That logo's clean. The logo's so clean. Let's look at this logo again. It's so clean. I love it. Like, it exudes Spider-Man energy. It exudes Spider-Man energy. So you think he'll be playing Jackpot? Nah, she's playing Screwball. Let's be real. Ha! Someone said Screwball.
Guys, let's not joke around. All right. Let's calm down. It won't be Screwball.
Okay. Joe, explain to me who Jackpot is. People are saying Jackpot. I don't know who that is.
Jackpot is Mary Jane's superhero identity. That's all. The people are being funny. People are being funny, I think.
Yeah, people are saying I hate Screwball. They're all on your side. I don't have an opinion on Screwball.
You should hate her. That's your opinion.
I just know her from the game. That's it. Will Peter be complaining about the broken door? I hope so. Yeah, please. It might not even be the same. Doesn't need to be the same actor. Please bring back, what's his name? Mr. Ditkovich. I would love that.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that. Please, me and this is street level. Please. Ghostface says, the main characters in Brand New Day comic are Spider-Man, Harry Osborn, Mr. Negative, Jackpot, Menace, and Freak. Freak, you say? False. I mean, Harry Osborn. They're doing a Goblin. Not saying Norman's not involved. Looking for an A-list actor? Thomas, Spider-Man 4, or Spider-Man Brand New Day, could take place before Doomsday. Like how Captain Marvel took place way before Infinity War. And same with, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp came out after, Infinity War took place before Infinity War. I don't think Harry Osborn will be gender swapped. I don't think so. I think if they do Harry Osborn, it'll be Harry Osborn. No, I don't think you're gonna do the whole making Ned and MJ remember. I think MJ just gonna remember because she still has the necklace. She gave like a little look to Peter Parker when he left. I think she's low-key just gonna remember. I think because of their love that the spell's not gonna stick. Norman Osborn could be revealed in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene. Maybe. I don't think so. What if Spider-Man 4 takes place after Doomsday and it takes place in the Battle World, but Peter is an illusion thinking it's the same world? See? Alright, we talked about that theory. That theory is not impossible right now. That theory is not impossible.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hijack just said that the Brand New Day arc started Martin Lee and the Mr. Negative / Feast storyline, but he wasn't the main villain.
Yeah, that's what, yeah. Who just said it? Ghostface just mentioned that Mr. Negative was in that. That would be dope. Have Steven Yeun was going to play Sentry, he's only playing Sentry. Have Steven Yeun play Mr. Negative. Like, come on. How perfect would that casting be? Like, how genuinely perfect would Steven Yeun as Mr. Negative be? Sam Mendes confirms they're making all 4 Beatles films, one for each member. The Beatles films will all release at once in April. All at once? That's crazy. I think it's also crazy they're making the Beatles movie like the Avengers. I think that's wild. And I saw someone say if they're making the Beatles movie like the Avengers, Yoko Ono has to be in a post-credit scene like Thanos. And I thought that was the most hilarious post ever. First look at Adam Mendes, the Beatles films. Where's my guy? There's my guy. Oh, that's getting smaller. Paul Mescal right there. My man. Joseph Quinn, love him. Barry Keoghan. He's cool. That deleted scene for Joker, great. And this guy, I forgot his name, but people want him as it's like Harrison something. People want him as the MCU Cyclops. Don't know what he's in, haven't seen it in anything, but people want him as MCU Cyclops. But that's my king right there, Paul Mescal. We love Paul Mescal. All right, I know they said they're closing it with that, but we always wait until there's a tweet that says the convention is or the panel is over. Steven Yeun has to play Miss Negative. Yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good casting, that's for sure. The Beatles movies are all coming on the same day. That's revolutionary, but kind of bad. Yeah, both things are very much true. I love that they're trying something new. Or it could be not the same day. It could be 1 week after the other. Like 1 week is Ringo, 1 week is Paul, 1 week is John, and 1 week's the other guy. Could be that. It's revolutionary. It's a bad idea, but it's interesting. I think it's cool. You want Black Cat played by Mikey Madison? I don't. I'm not a huge Mikey Madison fan. I've also not seen Anora, so that's why. I'm not huge on the Mikey Madison Black Cat. Look, here's the thing, all right? I'm going to contradict myself. Ready? Joe's going to hate me for this.
I am. I already know.
You know what it's going to be. It should be Sydney Sweeney. I don't love Sydney Sweeney, all right? I don't think she's the best actress in the world. Okay?
Why shouldn't it be her?
But it should be her. She's not a terrible actress. She's a big name. People love her. She's got the looks. I don't want it to be her, but it should be her.
I have to say, I am a fan of the Mikey Madison fan cast.
Really? Whoa. Okay. You were against the Anya Taylor-Joy fan cast, an actress who you really like.
And I still am. Yeah.
But you think Mikey Madison, you're on the Mikey Madison fan cast, an actor who you've not seen in anything.
Yes.
You're crazy. Madeline Klein is Black Cat. That's the answer. Madeline Klein is Black Cat. Checks off all the boxes. I am also a big fan of the Anya Taylor-Joy fan cast for Black Cat. Joe's not. I do. I am. Not a surprise that the movie's called Brand New Day. It is, but it isn't. Like, it's not a surprise. It's a surprise because it shouldn't be a surprise. You know? Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's a surprise because we thought it would be... Now, I guess in theory it could still be multiversal, right? Like, this still gives us nothing about the story. You know? But, like, it gives us hope. And I hate that it gives us hope without anything else. No one should play Screwball because Screwball is in prison for terrorism of me while playing Spider-Man. Fair enough. I've heard that if the main villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day is female, some pro think it should be Spider-Queen. Well, if it's Brand New Day, and if what I just learned was true, that the villain in the Brand New Day comic is a female Goblin, there you go. I would be disappointed if it's multiversal. I would be disappointed if it's Spider Island. I hope it's not Spider Island. I hope it's either just straight up takes place before Doomsday street level, or it's what we were saying earlier, that one theory that I really did not think was going to happen at all, but now like has kind of a chance, is it's like an idealized version of Peter Parker's life in his head, and at the end it's revealed like, oh crap, no, that wasn't real. Like, it was kind of an all the dream thing, but like there's precedent for it there's like one scene in the comics that they can expand over a full movie thing that ties into Secret Wars. That could be that. Please don't tell me this leads into One More Day. We don't think so. Hopefully. Could be Cope. But we're hoping it's not. Okay, here's the thing, Duolingo. It would be a waste of a movie. It'd be better than it being a waste of a movie on Spider Island. I think at this point... Now, okay. It being called Brand New Day means that there is a chance that it's not a waste. But as soon as we heard that Spider-Man 4, now called Brand New Day, was not going to be the Daredevil came up against Kingpin. It seemed like it was just going to be, no matter what, a filler movie. So that version of Brand New Day could be the best of the filler movies, if that makes sense. I think audience would dislike if it was just a dream. Oh, I don't disagree with you there. I don't like the idea of the whole just a dream thing, but if it ties into Secret Wars and Doomsday, and the last like 15 minutes of the movie, Peter Parker wakes up like on Battleworld or something, that's a different story. That's a different story. Destin Daniel Cretton says they're preparing to film in the summer. All right, I have to look it up. Daredevil, Born Again, Season 2, filming. Oh, shit. Did he say when in the summer? Or did he just say summer? I'm really trying not to get my hopes up here. I'm really not trying to get my hopes up here. Joe, guess when Daredevil Born Again is slated to end filming?
Well, it's filming. It's like season 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's filming now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is reportedly. We don't know 100%, but like reportedly when it's supposed to stop filming.
Like,
don't look at chat. Spoilers in chat.
I'm looking at my window blinds right now. Thinking, did it just start filming?
It started filming in like the beginning of March, like a few weeks ago.
Okay. Okay. So it's got some time. July?
Yeah. Filming scheduled to last until July. If they're preparing to film Spider-Man Brand New Day in the summer,
oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Now, that title makes me think it's not going to be against Kingpin, but, like, Daredevil could show up to set up the next one, the Spider-Man 5, you know what I'm saying?
He did show up in the last one.
He did show up in the last one. Yeah, have him show up in every single one now. Theory, Ned will defeat Doom and be the most powerful being in the MCU. He is the CEO of sex.
This is true.
Now, actually, Brand New Day could be like Fight Club. In what way, Duolingo? Should they address the fact that the Avengers don't exist as a current team in Doomsday? I think they're going to, for sure. I think they're going to. Any chance Tom's getting the symbiote in Spider-Man 4? I guess there's a chance. I don't think it's going to happen. But I guess there's always a chance, seeing how No Way Home ended. I think a female Goblin works in the sense that it allows them to have a version of one of the most iconic Spider-Man villains while still fitting in the Osborn-less MCU. Well, I think... Okay, let me know what you think about this, Joe. I think if they ever do any Goblin, Norman's involved in some way. Doesn't mean he has to be the Goblin that he faces against, but, like, female Goblin, I think Norman's established then.
You think that, like, Oscorp is involved? And in turn...
Maybe.
Osborn?
Maybe. Maybe not, but, like, it could be his startup. You know? I'll say that Brand New Day is arguably one of the most independent arcs of Spider-Man. Sure. That's what it sounds like based off of your description. And that's great. Like, hinting that Spider-Man's world is fake, just like how the movie gave him hints that Tyler's fake. Oh, I see. It very much could be that. Very much could be that. Daredevil and Spidey, and maybe Firestar and Iceman versus Silver Sable, Scorpion and Kingpin, that may be crowded. That feels a bit crowded. I mean, if they can make it work, they can make it work, you know? But that does feel a bit crowded. Favorite part was when Peter said it's time for a brand new day, and then he brand new day it all over those guys. Dude, that's my favorite part. Easily. What MCU character could appear in Spider-Man 4? Probably not Daredevil, but a Marvel character has to appear in the MCU Sony contract. I mean, I don't want to say probably not Daredevil anymore, man. Ugh. Shit. I don't want to get my hopes up, dog. This was too good. Like, I was not expecting this announcement to be this.
Right.
This is too exciting.
You know what gives me more hope that shouldn't give me more hope? The fact that the title is that good looking.
Right. That, like, the logo's too good. Not that, like, that's not a bad thing. And not that a bad logo would be a bad thing. Like, logos and titles are just that. Logos and titles. A bad logo,
Right.
a bad title does not make a movie bad. Right? Oh, but at the same time, a good one is good. Oh, man. Cretin said that there will be a new costume already. Oh, really? I like the costume. Unless it's symbiote, I guess. Screw it. Give me Future Foundation already. Brand new day, but it's Fantastic Four.
Let's slow down.
That's who it's in it. Johnny Storm. I'm kind of cooking. Wait. Let me cook some more. Let it be Johnny Storm, and let it be Firestar. And then, halfway through the movie, they have an... Okay. I'm going to turn off my burner now. I think they're going to address lack of Avengers and Thunderbolts. Yeah, no, they definitely are. Daredevil will be Spider-Man 5. I still think so. I still think that's likely, but... Anyone know what Charlie Cox is up to in August? I'm thinking it's Black Cat and Chameleon, so Chameleon could disguise himself to be so many characters in the comics. Totally. I don't disagree with you there. Mr. Negative, Chameleon, Kraven could be a good trio for this trilogy. I would love that. Except Chameleon and Kraven have already been done by Sony, which means I don't think they're going to be done in the MCU. Because of Sony. Ooh, Bombastic Bagman. Could be one of the new suits. Thoughts on that, Joe?
Bombastic Bagman or just Bagman? Because there is a difference.
What's the difference?
Bombastic Bagman, he has the Fantastic Four costume. Bagman is more like Marvel Rivals, where he's just got normal clothes, but a bag over his head.
Which one would you prefer?
Bombastic Bagman.
Yeah, fair enough. This is a reach, but the blue in the logo could be Iceman, and the red could be orange, and orange could be Firestar. It's such a reach, because red and blue are Spider-Man colors. And the orange Brand New Day, it just matches the orange of Homecoming, which, to be fair, you could have said, like, was Shocker, but Shocker wasn't the main villain.
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I do appreciate the enthusiasm, because I would love that to be the case. I would love for that to be the case. IMDb says the only project Charlie Cox has in line is a video game other than Daredevil. Like, come on. The new logo for Spider-Man 4 is almost as attractive as James Marsden. Yeah, no, it almost is. Here's a question. Will Spider-Man 4 introduce Miles Morales fully? I'm still going to say no. I'm going to say no. What do you think, Joe? That is not an automatic no. Interesting.
It is not. Because we know he's already established in the MCU. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go with I don't know for that one.
All right. Hear me out. Let me cook here for a second. Let me cook. So, as with all the MCU comic adaptations, inspirations, they never do it one-to-one. It's never exact, right? Because of that, I don't think Brand New Day is going to be the exact adaptation of Brand New Day from the comics, all right? So, who do we say were the villains and the characters in the comics for Brand New Day? It was like, what, Harry Osborn, Mr. Negative, the Jackpot, the female goblin?
I believe.
All right. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say keep Harry Osborn. I think Harry's still there. Okay, no, let me pull back. I think it's either Harry Osborn or Miles as the new male supporting cast member. Both have their pros and cons. Harry Osborn or Miles. I think if it's Miles, Prowler shows up again. I think if it's Harry, Scorpion shows up again. Hear me out. Keep me cooking. If it's Miles, either way, female Goblin's still there, Norman's still there. Actually. I think instead of Mr. Negative, it's gonna be either Scorpion or Prowler in that role. So the jackpot, I'm gonna say firmly plant that Sadie Sink, not Mayday. Sadie Sink, not Jackpot. Sadie Sink, not Mary Jane. Sadie Sink is either going to be Firestar, Gwen Stacy. That's it. I was saying Black Cat, but she's too young for Black Cat. That's my prediction. Please be Harry and Gwen Stacy. Anyway, sorry, I get ticks sometimes. What do you think about that, Joe?
I would not want her to be Gwen Stacy.
What about the rest of that? What do you think about the rest of that?
Hijack did say that Jackpot was not Mary Jane, that there were other characters that were Jackpot before Mary Jane.
Okay, could be that then. That's not impossible. Kind of a interesting choice then, but not impossible.
But if Sadie Sink is Sadie Sink is Firestar, then I would be definitely much more open to that.
Please. Well, Black Cat, we already got Gwen. I do too. I like Gwen a lot, but I do too. I don't think Sadie Sink is gonna be Black Cat. Black Cat should either be the same age as Peter Parker or older, and they could very well like Sadie Sink's character and Peter Parker could very well be the same age in the movie, but Sadie Sink is about to turn 23. Tom Holland, I believe, is 28. Tom Holland's about to turn 29.
That's kind of the perfect age for the dynamic of Peter and Black Cat.
But reversed, I feel. No? You want Black Cat to be 5 years younger than Spider-Man?
Yes.
Why? Go on. Explain.
In the comics, their dynamic is much more different than I think you think it is.
Very well possible.
Peter, I would say, is portrayed as more matured, older than Black Cat. Hijack can either confirm or deny, but
nothing's wrong with the 5-year age gap, Killian. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess my exposure to Black Cat might not have been the quote unquote best exposure or most accurate exposure, because like I think of Black Cat like cougar's the wrong term, but like she's older than Peter Parker or the same age, and she's kind of the one like I agree with you in the fact that like he's the more mature one in a way, but like she's very like, for lack of a better term, like sexually coming on to him. And I feel like that works better if she's older. Because if she's younger, then it's like, oh. And then if they're a thing, like nothing, a 5-year age gap isn't wrong. But you also got to think about the age of the characters in the movie, right? Like they're not going to be playing a 28-year-old, 23-year-old. She might be playing a 23-year-old. But Peter Parker's not going to be 29 in the movie, you know? Okay. They're either same age or she's slightly younger in the comics. Would you categorize 5 years as slightly younger? Yeah, dominant. That's the right word. I feel like Black Cat's very dominating. Like, let's be real, Black Cat's on top. You know, I don't know if I buy Sadie Sink. No, because I was thinking Holland Spider-Man and like Far From Home. I don't know if I buy Sadie Sink on top when it with Tom Holland. They're canonically months apart in 616. Okay. They bring Black Cat. I'm pretty sure with the way they tend to bully Peter, she's gonna die. I don't think so. I mean, you have a better stance on it than me, Joe. Whatever your opinion is, but like, I feel like Black Cat, like, killing her off isn't as big of a deal. Like, if they were gonna introduce a love interest to kill off, I guess it would be Gwen. But you could argue that people would expect that. But like, I don't know if Black Cat's gonna be a super fan favorite. You know, so killing her off might not have a huge impact. What do you think about that?
Honestly, the only way I could really see them, quote unquote, killing her off is by not actually killing her, but having her go somewhere else, kind of like how in Spider-Man 2,
she's got a girlfriend in London.
She has a girlfriend in Paris.
In Paris,
and she goes to Paris to be with her, so she's gone for the rest of the game because of that.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I think killing her off is really like a nothing burger in the sense of like, okay, Timothy Chalamet the Bing Bong as Harry. I've been on that fan cast forever, bro. I really want to see Timothy Chalamet as Harry Osborn. I think that would be so. I think he would do it too, because like he's buddies with Tom Holland and Zendaya. I think he would do it. I think it'd be. I think it'd be a fun time for them. Like, who doesn't want to? Who doesn't want to be in a superhero movie with their friends? I guess DiCaprio, but like, you know, he's a Spider-Man fan. Hear me out. Have Tombstone be a massive crime boss character like in Spectacular Spider-Man. All right, I know you're a Tombstone. You're a Tombstone fan, right? Or Hammerhead? I get them confused.
Yes, both, honestly.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think about? Do you think they have a chance of being in this? How or no?
If Tombstone is in it, then they would have to involve. Well, I guess not have to, but that I would really want them to involve the Daily Bugle because he has a specific story with Robbie Robertson.
Gotcha. Brand New Day. I mean, if this isn't set in Peter's mind, I think Daily Bugle is definitely involved. If this isn't, I think I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna say this isn't Spider Island. I think we can definitely say it's not Null and Venom and all that crap. I think it's definitely either in Peter's mind, sort of like that in-between style, or it's straight up before Doomsday, street level. I think if it's not Peter's mind, I think JJJ's in it. I think Daily Bugle's a part of the story somehow. Maybe not a part of the story. Maybe just like in the background, but I think it's there. I think they're there. What do you think about that?
Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah. I said I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna say almost definitively it's not Spider Island. It's not some big multiverse thing. At most, it's an in Peter Parker's mind situation, or it's a street level thing. I think if it's not in his mind, then I think Daily Bugle's a part of it in some way. Maybe not like a big presence, but like in the background.
I agree with that.
If you had to take a stance right now, Joe, and I want to hear you guys in chat as well.
Yeah.
Between the in Peter's mind, okay, you know what? I can make a poll. Let me actually do that. Let me create a YouTube poll. Let me be a good YouTuber here. I'm gonna put a poll in chat right now. I'm gonna unpin this as well. And let me know and vote on what you think Spider-Man Brand New Day is. Is it 1, street level? So that's any combination street level. Black Cat, Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, like, you know, that kind of thing. Is it street level? Is it in his mind? So the, you know, quote unquote ideal Peter life? Or is it still multiverse?
You should add other option just in case anyone has anything else.
I don't know if it is another option. You know, okay, if the option is other, then when you vote, you have to say it in the chat. All right, but what do you think, Joe?
Spider-Man Brand New Day. I want to say it's street level. I would vote street level because Brand New Day is about him going back to the basics, going back to the street levels. You know, he has in this previous trilogy, the best part of Homecoming was when he was dealing with the, you know, friendly neighborhood, and he's sort of evolved to bigger and bigger villains. And I feel like after the No Way Home, the One More Day, now we're gonna get our, you know, footing back, and we're gonna go back to the street level storylines.
I think I agree with you. Some people saying it's a mix. The people who are saying it's a mix. What would the mix be? Like, how would it be a mix? Imagine if it's in his mind and slowly his road goes wrong and ends with his Justin Doomsday. That's what the in his mind thing is. That's that theory. Overwhelmingly right now, the votes are for street level. 66% of the votes, 67% for street level, with 51 votes overall. 67% for street level, 8% for in his mind, 10% multiverse, 50% other. Ideal Peter Pocket universe, similar to Trapped in His Own Mind, but a few tweaks. Yep. That's not impossible. I put other. I think it'll be a mix, maybe Venom for the multiverse or some other multiverse characters. I disagree with that. I don't think it's multiverse at all. It does not. Sir Nicholas says it's got to deal with multiverse if it's on Doomsday. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean it can't. It doesn't mean it can't. But I'm saying it doesn't have to. It could very much just take place before Doomsday, because Sony sets the release date for Spider-Man, not Marvel. So Sony set this release date. This is Sony, not Feige, setting this release date, right? So it could very much just be an Ant-Man and the Wasp situation where Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place like right before Infinity War. It could be the same thing here. It's hard to say. I think it being in his mind kind of would lead to a few interesting tie-ins from Far From Home. Maybe. The title would make more sense if it was the first movie after Secret Wars reset. No, I don't think so. I think if it's street level, it makes sense being after No Way Home. The way No Way Home ended, I think it makes sense to be that. My guess is that it'll start street level until Doom shows up. Okay, interesting. If it's Harry, maybe in a post-credit scene after Peter starts leaving Harry's office/room, a certain black goo starts going from Harry to Peter, then Harry stops it from attaching itself to Peter. I don't think they're going to make Harry be Venom in this world. I think that was just a one-off thing for... Unless they did in the comics, but I think that was just a one-off thing for the game. It worked for the game, but I think it's just a game thing. How could it be street level? It just takes place before Doomsday. Just because it's releasing after Doomsday doesn't mean it has to take place after Doomsday. Ant-Man and the Wasp took place before Infinity War. A lot of, like, not... Just because a project comes out after another project doesn't mean, in-universe timeline-wise, that's also the case. I hate to say this, but I think people are setting themselves for disappointment. I don't want it to be multiverse, but it's likely it's because it's coming after Doomsday and Saga. No, it's not. Like, this is still a Sony movie. Remember. I know it says Marvel Studios at the top, but, like, unless things... Like, that's why it was announced at a Sony panel, not Comic-Con, not D23, not the Marvel Disney panel. This is still a Sony movie. And sure, obviously, Sony discusses with Marvel, you know, the plans, right? But it's still a Sony movie at the end of the day. No Way Home ended with him being street level. Got to start out that way. No Peter and Doomsday and incursion at the end for Battleworld. That could straight up be it, right? It kind of just depends on how... Well, it could just lead right into Doomsday. You know, like... All right, let me know what you think of this, Joe.
Yep.
No, Brand New Day takes place before Doomsday. In Doomsday, the Doomsday is about the 616, you know, the quote-unquote sacred timeline, and that X-Men universe at the end of the Marvels colliding in an incursion. You know, we got the Red Sky, we got, like, you know, everything that we see from incursions, right? And that happens in
Right.
Doomsday. What a Brand New Day, just like literally the last scene, or not even last scene. You know what? Shouldn't be the last scene. The last scene should close the movie and the story. The post-credit scene of Brand New Day, he looks up in the sky and sees red and sees another world leading into Doomsday.
I think that's how most individual movies should go.
Because just because, and I want to reiterate this for people that who maybe not have been here. Just because Tom Holland wasn't announced to be in Doomsday doesn't mean he's not in Doomsday. The current rumor and report is that they only announced the actors that have officially signed on. It's possible that they just haven't officially like put pen to paper with Tom Holland's deal yet because they just don't know scheduling. Tom Holland's currently filming The Odyssey and then is going to go film Spider-Man 4 in the summer, it sounds like. So they just got to figure out scheduling. It's very possible in Doomsday, Spider-Man is in a lot of it, but a lot of it is Peter Parker with his mask on, and it's a stunt guy doing the body performance, very similar to The Mandalorian. And for all those scenes, Tom Holland does the ADR in a booth for it, which is most of his scenes anyway. Like they have to ADR it anyway a lot of the times. And then there's like one or two scenes where he takes his mask off, which coincides with the scheduling for Tom Holland that he can film for like 1 or 2 weeks in Doomsday between The Odyssey and Spider-Man 4. And for those 2 weeks, they do the scenes with Spider-Man with his mask off. And they just haven't officially figured out the scheduling yet, which is why they haven't announced them yet. And so Brand New Day does exactly what I said. It leads right into Doomsday. The story ends. Post-credit scene is the incursion. I think that works really well. Ghostface says, wait, remember that quote-unquote plot leak from November last year? The title was said to be Brand New Day. I do not. What was that plot leak? Jog our memory, por favor. Honestly, I think I want it to be Multiverse movie. Interesting, Cooper. Hot take from Cooper Goats. Have one final movie to have the 3 Spider-Men front and center, then go back to street level since the multiverse will be done. I respect your opinion. I respect your take. I don't think we need one more. I think we have No Way Home to be that movie with the 3 of them front and center. We also have Secret Wars, which will probably have at least Tobey Maguire front and center, if not both of them. I think that's enough.
Hijack has sent me the plot leak.
Okay, read it out, por favor.
Following the events of Doomsday, Peter Parker is determined to lead a normal life and focus on college, stepping back from his responsibilities as Spider-Man. However, peace is short-lived when a deadly new threat emerges, endangering his friends and forcing Peter to reconsider his promise. With stakes higher than ever, Peter reluctantly returns to his Spider-Man identity and finds himself teaming up with an unlikely ally to protect those he loves. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Michael Keaton Vulture, and Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom mentioned to join the cast. Now, Hijack did say that he does not believe it.
Okay. I would love for Michael Keaton to be back. I don't believe it either, because I don't think Doom is a part of it until either the post-credit scene or if it is the whole pocket, ideal Peter Parker universe until the last 15 minutes. So I am going to say I don't believe it. I think that plot leak just got lucky with the title, because Brand New Day is, I don't want to say that it was the obvious title after No Way Home, but like it was the one that a lot of us were saying could be that,
Right.
I think Spider-Man 4 being ground level would be a good multiversal palette cleanse before Secret Wars. I think you hit it right on the money, Thomas. I think that's a great point that myself and no one else is bringing up. After Thunderbolts, let's lay out the movies for the rest of this MCU saga, right? Fantastic Four, which could deal with the multiverse. We don't know. It couldn't, but it also could. Doomsday, obviously, which will. Spider-Man 4. Rumor is That other movie in 2026 is Doctor Strange 3 and then Secret Wars. That's a lot of multiverse. I know I just said multiverse is not the issue. However, if every single movie for 5 movies straight, 4 movies straight, 5 movies straight is multiverse, then yeah, people are going to get sick of it. But if there's one movie to break it up, it should, would, could be Spider-Man. Because let's also think of it this way too. In terms of just general audience, right? The general audience gonna see Doomsday, gonna see Secret Wars, gonna see Spider-Man. Probably gonna see Fantastic Four. Probably not as much as a Spider-Man or a Avengers, but more than a lot, because Fantastic Four is the Fantastic Four, and it's also gonna be great. It's gonna be a great movie. People might not see Doctor Strange 3. Fair enough. It'll make good money. It might not be as big because some people were let down by Multiverse of Madness. Fine. But the general public going from multiverse to multiverse to multiverse to multiverse, then it might be a lot. Spider-Man 4 being the one to be street level makes it that much more enticing to people. Thoughts, Joe? I think it's a good point, Thomas. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I think that that's a fantastic point to bring up. I think that a break, people are even talking about the fatigue now, and, regardless of what we said before with the Doomsday views and everything, I do think that I definitely agree that if we do get 5 movies in a row where it's multiverse, even I would be like, okay, this is kind of a lot. So I do think that Spider-Man would be a good breaking point. I don't know if that's the right term, but yeah.
No, I think it's a wonderful point, Thomas. I think it's a wonderful point. It could be wrong, but I think it's a wonderful point, and I don't disagree with it. You almost need these next movies to deal with the multiverse going into Doomsday to build up the momentum you had Infinity War to pay off in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Yes and no. I see where you're coming from. I see where your logic is. And my logic isn't I don't totally disagree with that. I think that Doomsday, well, it has the Fox X-Men. That's going to be huge. But I don't think the hype for Doomsday is going to reach the same heights as it did Infinity War for that exact reason. Because Infinity War was, built up towards for 10 years. Now, again, you could argue because the Fox X-Men are in it that it's been built up for 20 years and that people are going to be super excited because of that. And you're right. I am super excited because of that, and for other reasons, obviously. But at the same time, because you have the Fox X-Men, because you have RDJ back as Doom, because you have Fantastic Four, Fantastic Four is all you need. I don't think you really need... And with Spider-Man 4 coming out after Doomsday, the multiverse is already here at that point. I don't know. I'm hoping Spider-Man 4 would be down to Earth movie. I'll never let go of the hopes that we get to see Peter catch a break. Well, I don't think we'll ever see Peter catch a break. But I agree. I hope it's down to Earth. Since Beyond the Spider-Verse releases a month after Secret Wars, do you think they might have some connection? I don't. It's possible that they do, but I don't. I think that's just coincidental. What do you think about that, Joe?
Maybe sort of in the way that they referenced the sacred timeline in like the visual way in Beyond the Spider-Verse, or in Across the Spider-Verse, excuse me. You remember when Miguel first showed Miles the multiverse and it looked similar to the sacred timeline? Maybe it's, something happens where they visually show something like that to show that it's changed in some way. But other than that, I don't think that those events will get referenced.
I reckon Tom could be recruited for Spider-Verse instead of Doomsday Secret Wars. I don't think so. How Spider-Man go over to DC for a little bit. That's funny. Rooster Brothers said Secret Wars is the beginning of something in a Brazilian interview. I wonder what that mean by that. I think they mean it's the beginning of the quote-unquote like a soft rebooted MCU. X-Men were here the whole time. Fantastic Four were here the whole time. You know, it's a jumping in point for people, and it's like, all right, we've done this for 20 years. Now we have everyone back now under the same roof, except for Spider-Man. It's a soft reboot. I think that's what they meant. Like, I think straight up, like, I think Doom wins. I think Doom wins both movies. And I was gonna make a video on this, and I didn't, so I'll say it here anyway. I think Secret Wars ends with the biggest characters from this whole time. So like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Hugh Jackman, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Tom Holland, Pedro Pascal, like Chris Hemsworth, like everybody all in one big circle, and they decide we gotta reset everything. Some of us might be dead. Some in this new timeline, some of us might be dead. Some of us might look different. Certain things might be different, but it's what's best. And I think it ends with the most fan servicey ending ever. But at the same time, that fan service ending is gonna have us all in tears. Because it's gonna be pulling on our heartstrings of it's gonna be saying pretty much like, hey, thank you to all these actors and all these characters. Thank you for sticking around and watching. Remember your childhoods. Like, it's like this is this bittersweet ending of we're not children anymore. We grew up with these characters, and they'll always be there. What happened before this reboot? What happened before all these characters decided to reset this timeline? It still would have happened, right? Like this reboot would not have happened without the other movies and everything before it. But it's time to start anew. It's time for the next generation. And I think it'll be such a bittersweet ending that'll have us all in tears. Super fan servicey. But it's not a bad thing. Secret Wars, by design, maybe not the comics, but this Secret Wars movie, by design, is going to be fan servicey. And that's okay. That's what it should be. I think that's what it's going to be. And I think we all got to bring our tissues for tears this time. Yeah. A new Iron Man, new Captain America, new Black Panther, new Quicksilver, new Hulk. Yeah. Like, I think so. Some people don't think so. That's fine. I don't think right away. Like, I don't think the next movie, like the immediate movie after Doomsday, or after Secret Wars, I don't think it's going to have a new Tony Stark actor. I don't think it'll have a new Captain America actor, right? But I think, give it 4 or 5 years, I think it will. Because it's time. And I think having Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans be two of the people, maybe the two people, to make that decision. In the videos making, it was this MacGuffin device that you press the button and it boom, like resets everything. So just going out this idea, it's not gonna be this exactly, but like, you know, going down this rabbit hole, like having Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man and Chris Evans Captain America and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, like, be the people that press that button, I think makes it even easier for audiences to go, okay, it's been 20 years. They did great, and their performances are not being erased. We can always go back and watch their movies. What they did in their movies still happened, and without what happened in their movies, this moment right now would not be happening. But it's time for a new Iron Man. We have Iron Man, Reed, X-Men, Captain America, all under the same roof. We got to take advantage of that. It's not a hard reboot. The reason why it's a hard reboot is because some actors would stay around, like Tom Holland would stay around as Spider-Man. Chris Hemsworth as Thor, obviously, which that's where you get into the gray area, right? Because if you're not recasting Thor, then it'd be weird to recast Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. If you're keeping Anthony Mackie, then would you recast Steve Rogers? Like Miss Marvel would stay, you know, like there are characters that would stay, right? And like the Fantastic Four, those actors would stay, but they would just be MCU canon now, you know. Time Loom being reset button, maybe, yeah. look, I could be wrong. Maybe that's the fan in me pre-writing that fan service, but like, that's what I think. That's what I think is gonna happen. I could be wrong. Would resetting it kill Doom or no? No. Here's the thing with Doom, right? Doom is an interesting. This is an interesting thing they're doing with Doom. I still stand by my opinion, and I think it's gonna be the thing we're end off the stream with because it's past midnight now. But the thing with Doom, and I want to hear your opinion on this, Joe, and you guys in the chat before we end. Some people think that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom is gonna be like the Doom of the MCU, and once Secret Wars is over, he'll either stick around as Doom or they won't do Doom again. I strongly disagree with that. I think they're doing Doom because, one, they couldn't do Kang, so the only real person that can top Kang, if they, I think they should just recast, but if they were definitely past, if they were not going to recast, the only character that could really top Kang would be Doom. And I think even me, the MCU defender, is like, yeah, obviously it's a little desperate, right? It's to get people back. So it's both of those things. But after that, then I think they're gonna recast Doom and have a Doom for the MCU for as long as the MCU is still around, because Doom is more than just this one-time, I guess technically two-time villain, right? Like, Doom is Doom. We know, like, Doom is so much more than just Doom. Than just, like, the big bad for Doomsday and Secret Wars. And I think he's gonna be around. I don't think they just make Doom this villain for these two movies and then call it quits with Doom. And I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is gonna stay around as Doom, because Robert Downey Jr. is what, almost 60? And that's not me trying to crap on Robert Downey Jr. Like, I love Robert Downey Jr. He's an absolute legend. But also, if I was Robert Downey Jr., I wouldn't want to stay around as Doom. Yeah, he's 59. By the time Secret Wars comes out, he'll be like 62. It's going to be a new actor for Doom, and I think Doom sticks around. What do you think?
I definitely disagree of both statements that RDJ is going to stick around as the main Doom / they're not going to do Doom in the next saga. I think Doom is too important of a character in the Marvel Universe to not do. And I also think that, like you said, they were dealt kind of a bad hand. So, like, they're doing what they can to end this saga, and afterwards I think we'll get a really accurate and really good version of the Doom character that will live up to, I know that most people's favorite is in the animated show.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we'll get a version of Doom to live up to that. I think that this is just a means to an end,
Mm-hmm.
and that end would be Secret Wars.
Good way to put it, I think. Because also, it's like, it's the same way that, and I know it's slightly different because this is like a newly cast Doom, but it's kind of the same way that, like, James Marsden's not going to be Cyclops in the MCU after Secret Wars. Halle Berry's not going to be Storm in the MCU after Secret Wars. Ian McKellen is not going to be a Magneto in the MCU after Secret Wars. But there is going to be a Magneto, a Cyclops, a Storm after Secret Wars. I think it's the same with Doom. I think Doom is still going to be a character in the MCU. Now, I don't think he's going to be the next big bad, but some people are saying he'll be the next Loki. Maybe. I think he'll be a little more than that. I think he'll be a little more than the next Loki, but I think for a while he'll just be in Latveria. Maybe we'll hear about Doom. Maybe they'll pull an X-Men 97, and sometimes there's like big world events, like he'll pop up on a screen, like maybe they'll do that, and he'll show up in Fantastic Four probably. Please, I really just, the Superhero Squad fan of me really wants to see him, MODOK, and Abomination together. I think he'll be around. I think it'll be a new actor, and I think that's how you have to do it, too. Like, Doom is a lot of people's favorite comic book villain. At least favorite Marvel comic book villain. And Thanos is a kind of character where you can afford to do, a one and done sort of thing with Infinity War and Endgame. But it'd be like, here's the thing. It'd be like bringing back. This is a terrible example because this is what they're doing. This is a terrible example, but I'm gonna continue anyway because it's late and I'm tired. It'd be like bringing back Norman Osborn, Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn, and then just never doing Norman again. I'm not saying doing Green Goblin again. Like, sure, that's fine, at least for a little while. But never doing Norman again. It's the same thing with Doom, I think. Or Magneto's a good example too. You know, bring back say they bring back Ian McKellen Magneto to be like the big bad or something, and then never do a Magneto again. No, that's not how that works. I think it's the same with Doom here. Anyway, like I said, it is past midnight, so I think I'm gonna call it there for the stream. But guys, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned in and stuck around. This was such an impromptu idea. Like yesterday, I was like, "Hey, should I do a stream tomorrow for the Sony panel?" And I was like, I might as well. I haven't done anything in a while, so I scheduled the stream, expecting there to be maybe 100 people total for the stream. And we're ending the stream almost an hour later than the panel ended with 120 people. Like, that's absolutely insane. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, for chatting, for talking, for just always being super chill and chatting, having a good time, and being civil and respectful. I appreciate it so much. I say it every time. I appreciate it so much. I see also, I wasn't paying attention, we passed 4,400 subscribers. Thank you guys for that. I really, really appreciate it. So like I said, I won't be doing a live stream on Wednesday for the Disney panel. And straight up, I probably won't be active on this channel for a little while, just because I have real life responsibilities to deal with and to prioritize, right? But hopefully, at the very latest, I'll be back for San Diego Comic-Con to do a live stream just like this, covering San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Hall H. So hopefully at the very latest, I'll see you guys then. Maybe sooner. I don't want to promise anything. Expect nothing new, but nothing until Comic-Con, but who knows? Anything's possible. Have a wonderful day, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, or rest of the day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for new subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be safe, be kind, and hopefully I will see you next time.